virtual worlds where the possibilities are endless. From fantasy lands to sci-fi battles, we'll be relentless. But it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's the joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life, with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. Won't fall away, but it doesn't have to stay that way. That goofy counselor going to show us the way. I'm the gaming counselor, here to save the day, promoting self-care in my own special way. With a mouse and control in hand and a headset on my head, I'll guide you through life. It's a game I'm learning to master. We'll escape to virtual worlds where the possibilities are. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor, the counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor, it's not just about the gameplay, it's about connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's a joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, let's break the chain. We'll be what we'll make this. But it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's the joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life, with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. I'm the gaming counselor, the counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor, it's not just about the gameplay, it's about connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's the joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, please let the chain. We'll be way, we'll make this. And it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's the joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life, with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. I'm the gaming counselor, here to save the day, promoting self-care in my own special way. With a mouse and control in hand and a headset on my head, I'll guide you through life. It's a game I'm learning to master. We'll escape to virtual worlds where the possibilities are endless. From fantasy lands to sci-fi battles, we'll be relentless. But it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make. Coming together with friends, it's the joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life, with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. Won't fall away, but it doesn't have to stay that way. That goofy counselor going to show us the way. I'm the gaming counselor, here to save the day, promoting self-care in my own special way. with a mouse or control in hand and a headset on my head. I'll guide you through life, it's a game I'm learning to master. We'll escape to virtual worlds where the possibilities are. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, the counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor, the counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor. It's not just about the gameplay, it's about connections we make, coming together with friends, it's a joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, let's write the chain, we'll be what we're relentless. But it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make, coming together with friends, it's a joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. I'm the gaming counselor, the counselor who games out. I'm the gaming counselor. It's not just about the gameplay, it's about connections we make, coming together with friends, it's a joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, it's like the chain, we'll be way relentless. And it's not just about the gameplay, it's about the connections we make, coming together with friends, it's a joy we create. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure where gaming wipes away the tears. We'll level up in life with every high score we achieve. Come game out with me, and together we'll achieve happiness in our way. I'm the gaming counselor, here to save the day, promoting self-care in my own special way. With a mouse or control in hand and a headset on my head, I'll guide you through life. It's a game I'm learning to master.
What is good? What is going on in the background? Hold up. Wait a minute. This background was installed by Bungie, as you can tell. We got some featured bugs. There we go. There you go. Got more arcadey background for now. Huge. Let me know how the background music is. I'm trying to, like I said, I have music set on the other PC now, and I'm trying to balance it out so it's more. I'm trying to get a good like flow to where it's more background music and less overwhelming. So hey, what's up, guys? Hello. Hades, Jojo, hello. Oh, excuse me. I just inhaled dinner. I took a shower. Man, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We've got quite a bit to talk about. That's right. We got a little bit to talk about. I don't know how much we're gonna get. Like I do have quite a bit of like. I have variety for you, and I'm just gonna say this. I've been putting these. I probably won't put this one, but I have been putting videos as members only for live stream stuff, like after it's done, because I release the videos individually, chunks, right? But I do think people miss out on like some of the first part of the stream, right? I do feel like some people miss out on the stream, like some of the first parts of the stream. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been on break. I had 2 days. I had Martin Luther King Jr. off, and today off, and did absolutely nothing. I was lazy, but that's okay. I needed a good 3 days to recuperate from the week that I had last week. I just couldn't get up early to stream. Like, and there was other things I was wanting to do. Like, I want to be honest with you. I tried recording 4 different videos and messed them up. I wasted almost 2 hours of my time trying to record videos because I was pausing stuff, or I wasn't doing things correctly, or I forgot to unmute myself. It was a bad time, which is why I prefer to talk, which is why instead of trying to record this stuff ahead of time, we're doing a live stream, and we're doing we're talking about games. I've been playing Warframe off screen a little bit. I did work on my Nezha Prime, so in the future we will have Nezha to play with. I did spend some monies, but I'm trying to get acquainted with some of the changes to my YouTube. I mean, I have been talking still some Destiny, but realistically, I've been doing better by actually talking about other things. Like, we've been talking about Marathon. We did the Legos. We talked about Anthem. I did spend quite a bit of time talking about Warframe and all these, and streaming other things other than Destiny, which I don't know if that impacts, but January is also known to have lower metrics, but I am definitely seeing a little bit dip in viewership. Some of the people that usually join us in the comment section or in the streams have kind of been not there, and I think it's because they also rolled out changes to where they have removed, and here's something that I'm gonna start doing. They have removed, and like, a lot of people watch from their phones, and I have had a lot of people talk about the phones. That's really funny. It's a Fallout background with a thumb, and you only see the thumb. That's kind of funny. Anyways, a lot of people watch from their cell phones, and so YouTube is pushing aggressively shorts. I watched a whole video about it, how you're going to start seeing YouTubers are seeing a dip in viewership because they're replacing what would be in your recommended, what would be normal videos is now nothing but shorts. And so I'm tempted to start doing shorts for the channel. And then I was also going to upload all my long Let's Plays to a second channel because I don't want to have my channel compete for my main videos, especially if I do reviews and stuff like that. I don't want the Let's Plays to compete with it and the React. So I'm going to probably do a separate channel. I'll let you guys know more once I start actually uploading it and commit to it. Like, the biggest problem with that channel is I have to make thumbnails for everything. And I kind of just, I don't want to spend hours making thumbnails. I might just have to be lazy and just make a generic thumbnail and then do episode 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, that stuff, and just upload it. I'm tempted to go look at other YouTubers and see what their archive channels, that's what they're called. They're Let's Play archive channels where they upload their streams or their Let's Plays onto a separate channel. I need to see like what they do because I don't have an editor or someone doing all the work. I'm doing it. And so I don't want it to become a business, like a job. It's supposed to be a hobby, but I do like how I want to keep like the live streams. The quality is much better when I physically record it. And so for the people that maybe want to have that off to the side, I do want to do that for you guys. And it's not going to be members. It's going to be a free channel that I don't even make money off of. Just put it off to the side for you guys to watch in your own time. But with me doing a bunch of what's up, Travis? Destiny delay for Marathon is diabolical. Yes, it's crazy. Shorts are, yeah, I'm thinking about doing shorts for the channel. And I do want to try to, I'm going to do a lot of videos ahead of time. I have one video I'm going to experiment with. I'm going to try to bring back my podcast. I want to do something gaming news. I got to figure out how I want to do it. I've got big ideas and I want to start doing them. The problem is not being tired after work, man. I said I was going to experiment and try to do more variety, and I'm trying to do that, right? I know we're gonna start. We don't have a lot of time because I don't want to waste too much more time. But for the people watching this, viewership may go up and down. The algorithm is gonna change for me because it's not just Destiny all the way through, like Destiny. We're gonna have a lot of variety, and so if you want to make sure that you're able to see my videos all the time, hit the bell notification. I need to do an actual like intro that talks about it now, or some kind of video that I can put into the OBS to show people, because YouTube's changing, I'm changing, and it's messing up. So a lot of people aren't going to be able to see some of these videos. And I would like you guys to see the new stuff that I try. Like, I want your feedback, and a lot of you guys watch for the reviews, and I need to branch out to other games. But we are doing ourselves a variety stream. I'm putting my foot out there. I'm putting myself out there. We're going to do more, and we're going to talk about drama that isn't just Destiny. All right. So that's what you can expect from me. And by the way, if you're watching the VOD, or you're on Twitch or Twitter or YouTube and you're lurking, don't be shy. Go to our Discord. Damn, I need to put a place where people can easily click on both YouTube, on Twitch, and all these other places. But check out my channel. There in every video, there's a thing that says Discord. Join the YouTube. Go to the general section. Copy a link to a video if you want me to react to a game or a situation or something, and I'll see what I can do. Right, and you'll kind of get an understanding what I'm leaning into for the foreseeable future. All right. Let's get into it. Oh, this is the Cyberpunk thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. I hit record on accident. Whoop. Now, I am going to try to do some editing and stuff like that, right? We'll try. Let's see. All right. And let's see. Chitty chat. I'll let you be part of this experience as always. Hold on. Do I even need these anymore? I don't think so. There we go. I know this is going to make things look really weird, but my thought process is that for future videos, I'm going to cut the chat out into a separate section, and I might put it in the video, I might not. So that's just the gist of it, the plans. And then we can do this. You're not. We're doing this live. No one gives a crap. Hey, you're annoying. You're annoying. There we go. There we go. That way, I'm trying to make it more clean. There we go. Let me know Let me know what you guys think. Actually, I had an idea. Hold on. Big brain idea. Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, that may not be too bad. I know I'm doing this live, and you're like, "Why are we doing this?" So I'm trying to work out the kinks, okay? Trying to work out the kinks. One of the goals for this year is to try to actually work on presentation and content delivery. There you go. That looks better. I think it looks better. I do. I think it looks better. All right. And then, so we got that. I will have to change. Actually, you know what? I got two things I'm going to do. We're going to duplicate this. I'm doing that. All right, this is general. Sorry, I know I'm doing a lot of changes, but it's for good reason, okay? For normal reacts, because I'm thinking about videos. When I watch a video, I don't want it being screwed up, like looking janky AF. So that's why. But for future, we will be doing like I will try to edit my own videos a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. But I feel like this looks a little bit more presentable, more clean. A little bit more, especially mobile. I think mobile, this goes right down the middle, so it's a little bit easier for them to kind of stare at. All right, let's jump into it, shall we? Let's get into the topic. Oh, I guess I should have asked, how's the music? I'm gonna do a test record. This is pretty like a high rift. I'm gonna see how it is. I want it to be the actual background music. So let's stop recording. How's it sound? Okay, the music needs to go down some. All right, it's currently at 5. Go to 3. Let's see. Test recording. Like I said, I want the music to actually be background music, so this is me testing out the waters with my own voice, just to make sure it's not oversaturating the video. We're trying to be professional, and having a live group to hear it is good. Let's see. Okay, it sounds like background music to me, which is what I wanted. Huge. Dingus Bangus. We love the Fangus. All right, now we can start this video. Let's do it, shall we? Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and today we're talking about Marvel Rivals. And I've not really heard much drama and when it comes to the Rivals community. But this one, this one really, I'm just gonna be honest, this piece of drama is crazy. Let's just jump into it, shall we? we're just gonna jump into it, shall we? I have a nice little summary. I've been kind of following this, and the more that comes out, the more I'm against the people who are like, we'll get to my opinion, right? I'm trying not to throw my opinion with the bathwater all in one go. Let's jump into it. So, headliner, Twitch streamer kicked from a 40K Marvel Rivals tourney over hero swap suggestion. Now, if you're like me, and the first time you hear this, you're like, there is no fucking way that someone is that much of a bitch. I remember playing games like Overwatch or even Call of Duty, where you be playing and you tell, hey, bro, can you get off that? Swap that, bro. You're throwing. Though, let's be honest. In Call of Duty, you be shit talking like, yo, your ass. Why are you using the fucking, why are you using the noob tube? You can't even hit anything with it. Like, you're that bad. You're using the noob tube in Modern Warfare. You stuck that much dick? Like, come on. So I played games where it can get very competitive, it can get very sweaty, it can get toxic. During the January 8th Deadpool Creator Cup, college student Kingsman265 carried his team, yes, Magic, while Zaza Stack struggled as Black Widow with a 0.5 stat and high ping, but apparently it was 200. He suggested swaps like Bucky for better synergy. Which, if you've never played Marvel Rivals, it's not just like synergy as a team. It's also like certain heroes actually are synergistic with each other. Like, you get bonuses as ability bonuses by working together and having similar like groupings. Like Iron Man and the Hulk are one pairing. That's the last time I played. I haven't played Marvel Rivals in a long time. I need to, because they added Deadpool, which I think is why this is a tournament that was going on, because he got added to the game. Her part, let's see, but Zaza, okay, let's backtrack. But the captain, Cece, labeled him a loser. Zaza refused. And her partner, Kaplunk, sent clips to host Basm ZB, who removed Kingsman under a zero tolerance policy. What? I'm sorry. You've got to, if you cannot tolerate people telling you, hey, you need to swap, like, you've got to be a beta bitch. I'm sorry. CC's team finished 7th. I wonder why. Kingsman shared VODs that drew over 300K views, sparking talks on prioritizing fun vibes versus winning in cash events. CC later apologized her words and leadership, while Kingsman asked fans to avoid harassment. That sounds all good until you actually dive in and you find out that this bitch is a bitch. And let's just get something out of the way. There is a lot of like sexism and misogyny going around. That's absolutely the case. And when you have moments where it's a woman in the spotlight, it's gonna happen. But I'm about equality. I'm about giving fair treatment. Just like if you had a shitty player in Call of Duty that was a man, if you're a woman, you suck dick just the same. Like, it is fair to call out a teammate who's doing shit all for your team. And when you're in a tournament where 40K's on the line, yeah, you're going to be competitive. Yeah, you're going to be like, hey, we should do this. Hey, we should do this. Especially when you're carrying the team on your back. Absolutely, you should have the right and say so to tell your teammates, hey, we need to do this. So I'm going to scroll through. We're going to scroll through some of the things, and there's a plethora of things going on. Yeah, so despite saying he needed the money for college, with reports alleging a teammate complained to the host. Yeah, this dude actually needed money for college. And these people like absolutely were dickheads to him. Like I hate fucking people like this because they try to paint themselves as victims and they're not. And we'll get to some of the stuff. I'm trying to find some of the videos that people were sharing. Like here it is, right? Let's pause the video and just react. Let's just listen to this. Some of these videos just pissed me the fuck off. So let's listen to it. King tells them they need to triple support since everyone else will be running it.
Of course they're going to do that. It's a $40,000 tournament.
No, they're not.
Talk some sense into these guys because they don't want to run triple support. But every team will.
I hate that there's music playing in the background. Is there a better one? Oh, here was this one. Oh, that's Tim the fat man. Jesus Christ, Tim. You don't belong in this video, man. Broskis. Sorry, broskis. Is that really the only one? Oh, that's right. Also, this person trying to play the victim and how they try to paint the Kings guy as being the problem, right?
Popular. Everyone thinks this guy's a loser.
Like a bug. That's just what happens.
That's such a good point. You're so right about that. And we're still gonna play Widow. I need this for my college. I need this for my college. I have about 6 or 7 more years.
That is a certified dumb bitch. Dumb fucking bitch. Not only are you digging the brain rot 6'7", but you are looking like an absolute asshole. Like, we're gonna get into the apology, but don't let people like this act like they're the victims. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. You're all a bunch of dumb bitches. Like, I hate fucking people like this. They're cancer. They're absolutely fucking cancer, and they should be publicly shamed. And I'm glad we are getting to the zone. Now, I'm not saying bullying because they're bullying first. They're being assholes. And I think if you see someone being bullied, you should absolutely fucking shame the fucking people being dickheads. Abso-fucking-lutely shame the fuck out of them. But based on the video here that you could hear past the music, I just hate when people put shitty music in the background. The dude's literally asking them, hey, the first game of the tournament. I really hate. So let's just read and not listen to it. Triple, we started losing. Yeah, so the guy is making a call, is saying, hey, strategic call. Let's work as a team. They're going to start running triple support. We need to run triple support. It's this guy is thinking, he's thinking competitively. Remember, 40K is on the line. 40K. We're talking about money that can help a dude. Like I'm gonna be honest. 40K could pay a lot of student loans off, especially depending on what you're going for college for. Misandry at its finest. Women can be sexist too. Oh yeah, no, they're probably a bunch of sexist dumb bitches. They look like freaking the OnlyFans thoughts that their only existence is good for showing their tits on Twitter or something. Like, these people, they and you can tell that they're privileged too, just based on what they're saying. Like, there's no shot that someone's out there making laughing about paying for college. Like like this dumb bitch, she's probably so used to having her tits on Twitter or Instagram or her OnlyFans account that she probably doesn't even need to go to college. She lets her body do all the thinking for her. And it's always people like this that are probably more privileged, that probably have more fucking money, who can do whatever the fuck they want because they're comfortable. They've got financial stability. Meanwhile, my dude's trying to hustle, try to go to college, trying to make a living. And it sounds like he's trying to be reasonable. Like, hey, we should do this. He's thinking competitively. This isn't like pubs. This isn't like, hey, I'm LFG. No, he is straight up trying to do what you do at a competitive tournament. Be competitive. And it gets so much worse. Like, it gets so much worse. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see. This is, I did it twice, I think, right? Yeah, whoops. So here's this. I'm glad we have this.
Kingsman getting kicked? So like Boston pulled me.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. That's why we have this chat.
What happened with Kingsman getting kicked? So like Boston pulled me aside and it was just like,
dude, you should not be allowed to play a game if your ping is higher than multiple people's pings combined. I'm sorry. You should not be able to play a game. Get the fuck out of here.
he was
In a competitive tournament. Let me prefer it. Like, competitive
a
tournament.
lot of people were coming to him, like chatters and stuff. We're showing him clips of him like saying disrespectful things about the tournament, like us as a team, and like
Wait, well,
saying we
back-
were gonna lose.
back-
A lot of people were coming to him, like chatters and stuff. So like Boston pulled me aside and it was just like, a lot of people were coming to him, like chatters and stuff. We're showing him clips of him like saying disrespectful things about the tournament, like us as a team, and like saying we were gonna lose and all that stuff, and like Boston was just not having it.
So this guy muted up is talking to his chat. He's not saying anything to anyone directly, but he's venting his frustration because his team has a bunch of dumb bitches. And by the way, again, I'm sure he's not the only guy. I'm sure there's multiple guys in this team, and he's frustrated that no one wants to take his fucking side because this dude is carrying the fucking team on his back. But he has a bunch of dumb bitches who don't give a shit. They obviously don't give a shit. They're literally anchors. They're holding the team down. They're treating a competitive game like it's another live stream. Yeah, I would probably vent to my chat too. But you're like, people are gonna go tell the person running the tournament. Oh, he's talking his chat. He's frustrated. He's pissed off at his teammates. He's not directly harassing or saying anything to you in the middle of your streams. Like, who the fuck cares what he's talking to his chat about? Like, get the fuck over yourself.
And so he asked me, and I was just like, it's kind of just like, if you think so. But apparently he was like muting in like while we were in Discord and then saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose.
Like, who the fuck cares? He's muting.
And these guys, my team sucks. And then
He's not wrong. Not with that ping and your negative KD. You're 0-5, bitch. He's right. And you guys are refusing to take his advice. He's trying to think critically and strategically. My dude's out here braining how to try to win. And you're like, no, we're going to go and do Widow. We're going to do what we want. And this is just going to be a fun time. Hate fucking people like this. People like this are fucking cancer to gaming. This is why people get toxic. And this is why you have people that like must do this X, Y, and Z and they won't play with you because dumb bitches like this.
he was talking about like how some other tournament he's in was like way better. And I think Boston was just not taking that disrespect, and low-key like I didn't want that disrespect either. Like,
Oh no. He has an opinion on which tournament's better. I'm sorry. Who the fuck cares?
I didn't want someone on the team that was just constantly gonna like shit talk us to his chat. So I was just like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Gotta tell the boyfriend, hey, they're hurting my feelings. They're hurting your feelings. Guys, they're hurting your feelings. Like, he's talking bad about the tournament to his chat. And that's, even though he's not being rude to us, I need my boyfriend to go kick him out of the tournament.
But
Yeah, mad disrespectful. Man, I would have told you to go suck a dick, which you probably already do with your boyfriend, which is probably not that big. It is mind numbing. And we're gonna cover some more shit that's been put out. Guy was playing Magic and carrying the team. He was 16-2. My dude was literally carrying the team. 0 kills. I don't want disrespect. Well, maybe don't have 0 kills the entire game. Absolutely. That's the problem with these people. Let's see. 0-5 refusing to switch his throwing. Yeah, you're throwing. You're toxic. By the way, being not willing to work as a team or to make compromise or to try to do what's best for the team is being toxic. You're being an asshole. And here's the deal. If you're not willing, if you sign up, this is not LFG. This isn't some pub stop or where you grew up. You are signing up to compete in a tournament to win cash money. If you are not willing to conform or try new things or work as a team, if you are so dead set in doing whatever you want, don't join a tournament with other people other than your best friends. Anyways, these people are getting blasted to hell and back. So let's look at the shitty response. Let's look at the shitty response that these brain dead idiots have to say. I'm sorry, I failed to realize that I need to take proper... Oh, well, let's get the better one. Let's go back here. Let's go back here, shall we? There we go. I'm sorry I failed to realize that I need to take proper accountability on here as well. Many of you saw my replies and were defensive, deflecting, and argumentative. I was busy fighting to defend myself, and I've deleted them now because I realized what you guys really want from me was a sincere apology. As team captain, I have to take responsibility to make accommodations for all my teammates while advocating for my widow OTP. I also need to better respect Kingsman's wishes. Once the team environment became disruptive, I needed to de-escalate with a solution for both parties. Oh yeah, so making fun of, calling someone a loser, saying that all he does is play video games, and you know, make everyone making fun of him for talking about how he's trying to win money to pay for his college. Oh, that wasn't your clue that maybe you're fucking disruptive to the environment? Bitch, you're the one that fucking escalated it. A simple, hey guys, let's try this game with Widow. Then the next one, we can switch things up. Could have worked. It could have, but you all just kept on telling the dude. We watched the video. You just said, no, we're gonna use Widow. Like, this is, you can't have anything and you can't paint this. Like, there's VODs of how you acted. You can't be like, we should have done this. Yeah, you should have, but you chose to be an asshat and intentionally not do it. Emotions were high, and I failed to notice, which resulted in me snapping at Kingsman. I apologize no matter what. Raising voices and instantly shutting down a teammate is not the right thing to do. I also should have reprimanded the comments directed at Kingsman once the scrims were over. I needed to hold everyone accountable. I also apologize for calling Kingsman a loser, and I should have not read that in chat in the first place. Yeah. Oh, deflection. Isn't that funny how you're now getting, you are under the microscope and you are getting your ass handed to you. It has destroyed your reputation, and no one in the Marvel Rivals community probably wants anything to fucking do with you because you're just a slimy bitch. Of course you're going to apologize. You know what? In hindsight, I probably should have been an asshole. Before Kingsman's video went out, I had already reflected, which is why I didn't realize you guys needed to hear it too. I'm sorry my Twitter fingers went first and not this. I tried my best to be ready as a captain, preparing a spreadsheet with various comps and play styles. But I learned that being a team captain is more than strategies. It's about everyone on the team. They all need to have a say. Right, hold everyone accountable except herself. Exactly. Even after the initial situation calmed down, CC continued to bully Kingsman and speak ill of him across social media. CC has a history of attacking other players and talking trash. Listen, if you talk trash, be expected to get your ass trashed back. It's open season. I'm sorry I was going off the video and forgot explicitly calling this out. Earlier today, I woke up to 1,000 notifications from the day before, and people had joined my server from Kingsman. I was having a panic attack. Shut the fuck up. Woe is me. Guys, I'm having a panic attack. Bitch. No one's going to feel sorry for your ass. I'm not going to feel sorry for your bitch ass. You absolutely bullied and picked on a dude that was trying to win because he was in a tournament, which is fair. If this guy was just playing pubs and taking things too far, that's one thing. But he was trying to put strategies out there, trying to say, hey, things aren't working. I'm 16-2. You're 0-5. Our team is struggling here. We need to change things up. We need to try. No, my strategy. I've got my spreadsheets, and I think as captain, I know what's best. Okay, even though I'm 0-5. No, people, you've got to don't ever have an emotional, don't let this become an emotional reaction. Because that's what they want. People like this are manipulative, deceitful, and they will try to plead to your emotions. Like, I had a panic attack. No, you had a reality check. It's not a panic attack. It's a reality check. When you're a dickhead and you bully someone and you try to ruin their reputation, you go out of your way to waste their time. First off, you go to a competitive event or participate in a competitive event for money. Not only are you an anchor holding everyone down, you're refusing to try new things. You're refusing to listen to someone who's obviously more skilled at the game than you are because they're literally slaying out. You are wasting people's time. I would have a panic attack if I were you. And I just started to experience them. So in my freak out, I said Kingsman lacks social skills because he spends his time playing video games inside. I was angry and ended up lashing out at him instead of his community. I deeply regret it, and I apologize for flinging another insult. This shows I have terrible character, but I'll be working on watching. No, bitch. You have terrible character and you're only saying it now because you've been called out. Because people have you, you're literally getting crucified and now you're trying to be a saint. She doesn't actually feel bad. This is a PR move. Abso-fucking-lutely. Get fucking what you deserve. What's up, Snipes? What's up, Snipes? We're looking at the Marvel rival drama. You deserve to be fucking crucified. Oh, on top of the fact that this reeks of I'm not actually at fault and don't actually need to give an apology, this is just for a scapegoat to say, I apologize. You don't get to say all these statements after you post and drop all these excuses for accountability. Yo, Kingsman cocksuckers, screenshot this. Y'all think I ain't seen the toxicity in the Kingsman Discord? With not spreading hate from the mods and Kingsman community? All the energy to become T500 on PC and controller. I'm pretty sure he spent all 20 years of his life inside playing video games, which is why he lacks social skills. Yeah, I'm sorry. Got your best player kicked from the team. Goodbye, 40K. Hello, good vibes. 3K. And now we've got better players and vibes now. 7th place, by the way. Man, I'm sorry. Stupid bitch. Loud glazing Kingsman for what now y'all gonna lose. Kicked out y'all best player. He did it to himself. Nice job spraying negativity. You're so toxic. That's why this comm is horrible. Man. Wait. Zaza 6'8", CC 16'6", hit scan is third. Jesus Christ. Kingsman out with tournament because he wanted the Widow to swap because she was generally throwing us crazy. The Marvel Rivals community is a pile of shit. Yeah. Imagine getting kicked. Imagine getting kicked, dude. Community notes it's hilarious for this. You're a fucking moron for letting a girl let you ruin your reputation like this because they can't beat team players and bully others. Now, this is just people. These are just content creators that have egos, and they don't want to look bad in front of their simps. That's what they are. You can't look bad for the simps. Only reason why you post this is because he uploaded the video proving how you yeah. Do we have the video? We do have the video. We're not watching the full thing because I'm not watching an hour. We're not making an hour-long video about this, but I do think a little bit of insight to wrap this up. Let's watch. Let's listen.
I was kicked out from a $40,000 streamer tournament. If you guys do not know, Basim ZB is hosting a tournament called the Deadpool Creator Cup, and it's where 48 creators
I don't know any of these content creators at all.
Are all coming together in order to show Deadpool and play the new season for a cash prize of $40,000, sponsored by NetEase, and I was removed from it. Now, I know this is not my typical style of videos, but for this video, I just need to show exactly what happened and how absolutely insane what actually happened is. And I am prefacing this video, do not harass anybody you see in this.
Too late. Too late!
Go on Lucy's channel, be like, God, hard comm and shit. Like, I want to focus, like, I need to win this shit.
Okay.
Can we do that, please?
Yeah, got you.
Yeah,
All right.
gotcha.
Who was our sub, by the way? Because Big Puffer's not going to be here, right? Is anybody else coming? Do they remember?
Puffer's not coming.
Huh? I know Puffer's not coming. I'll go on Lucy's channel, be like, got scrums.
Oh my god, yeah, I do have scrims. I do.
She's got a tournament, and she doesn't even fucking. There's a reason why her mic is so far up, because she doesn't want anything blocking her tits, because that's where all the brain cells was to her tits.
Okay, she just totally forgot that we had scrims.
Okay, we're all here. Now, is Spencer's team here?
Why, Kimbaru, why are you watching my stream? Literally watching my fucking stream, commenting in the chat, bro. You could ask in the server, maybe somebody's like, can talk about, somebody else wants to scrim or something? Another ask,
I'm
can
down
you
to
guys
honestly
ask
just
around?
run quick play so that we can like go again.
Yeah, we can, I guess, bro. I mean, I
Right.
feel,
It would be better, but like we don't have. I don't think everyone can play together.
I can go on a GM account. I have a GM account. I can log into the Nuzlocke account.
He has a Grandmaster. I was about to say, when I think GM, I think General Manager. I'm like, what? He has the Grandmaster account.
All right.
My placement.
Wait. If we're a 6-stack with mics, we should totally be playing. Is everybody in here GM?
I'm Diamond 1. I was predicted GM3, and then I played with a Deadpool player.
Can Diamond 1 queue with?
I played with a Debo player, so now I'm a lower rank now.
GMs?
Yeah. I had a top of 2 on my.
All right, let me log into my other account and we can do that as practice. I feel bad though for
What, bro?
Fumi, because Fumi's a sub, right? We don't need to.
I'm so glad I no longer have to try to do streaming on the same PC that I'm playing because the juggling gives me an aneurysm.
Unless it's his main and he wants to rank up.
Him and Clips in it, bro, and then K.
Other teams, like I think
Yeah.
the other teams will just walk out with full
Thank you.
sweaty comps.
Of course they're gonna do that. It's a $40,000 tournament.
No, they're
Yeah.
not.
Talk some sense into these guys because they don't want to run triple support. We're gonna live. They're gonna.
triple support a character that I don't know how to play. What the fuck do you want me to do? Like,
That is a fair complaint. And that, first off, I will give her fair. She doesn't know how to play it. That is fair.
But every team will.
Drafted for triple support. No, they won't.
You don't think any team will want to run triple support?
No, you can barely get Matthew to play freaking support, let alone 3 people.
If Matthew's playing for 40 grand, he's gonna play triple support.
Oh, yeah. Which is what happened. All right, so
The poke isn't peeling for you, bro. Yeah, we win 5, but we won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like,
You can run him.
Hulk and die, Hulk and die.
dude, he's slaying
Fire Hulk,
out.
Fire Hulk.
Done.
He dies, he dies, he dies. Okay, guys. Pace and point proven right now. Do you understand?
no, it's
I mean, if you look at even the other team, she hasn't got a single assist. I mean, come on, it's fucking bad.
even make
Get
me play
him!
triple.
She dead again. Ain't no way. She's 0-4, wants to play Widow. Who else have scrimmed? Low key, this game is perfect example. If you still don't understand what that is, pure ego.
I'm gonna
How
play
do you not see the problem right now?
First of all, it's
Deadass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, bro.
You're doing too much.
Lucy's not even on Invis. Second of all, you're getting value because
No.
Bro, telling him to shut up when you are absolutely doing shit all for the team.
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm
You're
getting
only
value
able to
because I'm
rebuild them
1v6ing.
because Hulk isn't peeling.
He is 1v6ing because you can see on this team, like, this team is just fucking dead. That's the funny thing is you can actually just see that his team is actively fucking dead.
One.
He is literally 1v6ing.
You can run him.
Hulk and die, Hulk and die. Fire Hulk.
They're 1, 2, 3 dead dudes.
He dies. Okay, guys.
Half their team is fucking dead. And one of them is the Black Widow. Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't get to tell the guy to shut up. I'm sorry. You don't get to tell him to shut up.
Second of all, you're getting value because
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm
You're
getting
only
value
able to
because I'm
rebuild them because Hulk
1v6ing.
isn't peeling for you, bro. Yeah, we win 5, but we won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like, 4 people are dying here. That means 4 people.
I don't listen. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not competitive Marvel Rivals, but I think anyone who has played a game of Marvel Rivals or anything like even Overwatch, you should never be sacrificing 4 players out of 6 to kill 1 guy. There is no way that should be the go-to, guys. To kill 1 Hulk, we need to sacrifice 4 fucking dudes.
4 of their util, 4 of their resources are all spent on Zaza and the support. And we win because they don't care about anything else.
Guys, listen. You may not want the money, but I do, okay?
Yeah.
I really want to win. I need money for college. I need money for everything. And I want to try my hardest to get the right composition.
And we're doing well. And we're doing well. You know why? Because the dude's 16-2. He's not dying. He's killing everyone.
I will use you, bro. It's not happening this game. Maybe we consider it again, but like I don't think so, bro. Stop doubting on me, bro. All you've been doing the last
Yeah, he's being aggressive. He's trying.
Kill it, this through. Kill this. Nice, go straight on.
Dude, he's going ham. We can just sit here and watch this.
Venom is one.
Like, dude's clearly fighting the
Then
whole.
I start lagging. Maybe it's her.
I'm lagging. I want to know who voice that is, because if it's the stupid dumbass with the 200 ping, I wonder why you're fucking. I wonder why you're lagging. Dude, he's fucking good. Hey, he's fighting like 3 or 4 dudes at a time and not dying.
Let me know where you're gonna set up, Zaza. I can just give you a shoot.
21-3. Did she ever get a kill? Zaza 2-6. CC 9-5. She finally got there, chat. She got an assist and she got a kill. She got there.
Don't worry, Kingsman. I'll send you 50K myself.
Simi, he's gonna ult you soon.
No, I think you used it like that.
Okay.
I just want to see how this ends.
We're gonna ult Bucky.
Look at the Luna back
I
here.
ulted Bucky. You can kill Bucky.
I'm cutting you.
Miss one. Dead.
Well, thanks, one.
Dude, he's just going that. He's going for it.
Let's go. Good job, guys.
Don't worry, Kingsman. I'll send you 50K myself.
Let's go. Good job, guys.
34-4. She ended with 6 and 8. 1 assist. CC had 18 or 16 and 2 assists, which is almost triple what Zaza got. The next lowest person was 9 and 7 with 19 assists. Like, yes, they got low kills, but they're helping the team. What the fuck are you doing? You've got the bottom of the barrel. You have not done nothing for the fucking team. Hell, even the lowest on this team is doing more to assist their teammates. Like, it is, what are we talking about?
Don't worry, Kingsman. I'll send you 50K myself.
Thank you. Got it like that. Okay, me next though. Me next.
Mother, you're pretty good at Angela. Maybe we should get Puffer to play Angela the whole tourney as well. It's good synergy.
I'm pretty sure Fumi's Angela is like low key, just like up there.
I just.
All right, I think I've seen all I need to see. I think we can all agree that this guy, like, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And like, he knows exactly what he's doing. And these dumb bitches, dude. These dumb bitches. Anyone that, if you're in the tournament and you're not willing to work with anyone, I'm sorry. You're just a dumb bitch. Kablunk. Gotta love this. This is the simp to Kingsman. I'm reaching out to apologize and talk about the way things went down. And in this case, I want a win about it in a completely the wrong way. I overstepped. Zaza told me to leave it alone in confidence and dumb impulse decisions. No, that is not what happened. Kingsman, I'm sorry for sending the clips which caused Basim to kick you from the event. The Google Doc release was one-sided and painted you in an extremely negative light with my bias. I shouldn't have gone out of my way to involve myself in a situation I was not a part of. No, because you're being a simp. Zaza, I'm so sorry for going behind your back to release a Google document despite you warning me not to. We saw the video where she was talking and to him about having him removed. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. You did not post it behind her back. She openly discussed it on stream while it was being made, indicating that she was aware of the document's existence. Fucking bodied, you dumb bitch. Man, hey, bro, I lost you 3K, dog, but remember that time we folded in less than 72 hours? Nuke the whole generation. All right, let's go to... This is the part that's funny. Yeah, they deleted something, but this is this is what's happening. This is what's funny. This was happening in the background, and it is so fucking funny. So this is the document that they were editing. Oh, oh, sorry, you can't see it. Every time I do this. Ow! My ears! Ah!
I was like, yo, the script keeps moving. What is happening? Oh my god.
And he's filling it in. When Zaza signed up for the event, there was no proof. Damn, it is funny. They are trying so hard to deflect and to play the victim. Like, I have seen Destiny 2 people do PDFs, but this is next level. Like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong. You still a dickhead for what you. I don't know what. For telling him to kill himself and stuff like that. Disrespectful behaviors while you were inciting your own teammate to be assholes to him. Good job. Talk shit to Kingsman now, Zaza. I don't talk shit. I just tell people to shut up when they talk shit. That's all. I didn't talk shit at all. When did I talk shit? Shush, Kingsman. You're not allowed to talk. Motherfucker was instantly proven right and still couldn't swap. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, it's just, you possibly destroy your girlfriend's reputation and ability to pursue her passion by going behind her back despite, by the way, this is a nothing burger. There's Marvel Rivals drama because someone wanted to win 40K and not play with a widow that has 200 ping. Let's get this straight. Kingsman played 40K Rivals, creative attorney. Wanted 3K winnings for college. Suggested that 200 ping losing Black Widow switched characters. Got fucked. Ruining a college student's chance to win big because you told your ass to switch. People like you are the reason why Marvel Rivals is fucking failing. Not gonna lie. Bullying a hardworking broke college student who clearly needed the money and had the drive and passion to try and win the tournament is pretty low. Yeah. It is next level. Like, these people, don't give them mercy. Don't give them any mercy at all. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They won't show you mercy. Don't give them mercy. I think, yeah, just don't. People want to play victims. They want to be bullies and then play victims when they get called out. And it's called karmic justice. Get fucked. Whether you're a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. Get fucked. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. What do you think about this? Again, I've not played Marvel Rivals in a minute. Kind of want to now. For some reason, that magic player actually made me want to run around with a big ass sword and just start swiping people. Like, now I got urge to play. But let me know what you think down below. As always, I'll see you in the next one. As always, game out. Huzzah. Man. Hold on, chat. I'm making my goal to remove, anytime I'm done with like certain bookmarks, I'm trying to clear them out. That way my bookmarks aren't jacked. And then I can keep track of any videos I want to do in the future. I went through and deleted almost a year worth of bookmarks. It was a lot. It was a lot to go through. Yeah. I just have no sympathy for anyone that wants to try to play victim after being complete assholes. Like, no mercy. No mercy for you. Sorry. None. I have no empathy for you. You dug the grave being the asshole. That's what you get. Be an asshole, get assholed. Let's see. There was a tweet that I needed to get pulled out, I guess. Hold on. Let's go through the bookmarks. Let me refresh. Marvel Rivals a trash game. It's not a trash game. It's fun. I like it better than Overwatch. I liked it better than Overwatch, honestly. So I don't know what you're talking about. What? It's not bad. You got to be crazy, mate. What? All right, here we go. I got another. We got another one. Let's talk about Marathon. I'm gonna try to find the comment for the video that I'm gonna look at. I wonder if they replied. They have not replied. All right, good. We can have it in the video then. All right, chat. Let's do this, shall we? We're going to do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it. All right, I'm going to do it now. Here we go. Marvel Rivals are not my type of game. Marvel Rivals are not my type. Ah, that's fair. What the heck happened to the background? There we go. I think that's fair. If you don't like Marvel Rivals, I think that's fair. Scholars, welcome back to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we're back with another marathon video. That's right. We've been covering a lot of marathon news. It's probably the new hotness out there. And we have everyone's favorite McDonald's worker, Joseph Cross, in the news. I say that because after the art theft scandal, everyone was putting him under as the McDonald's looking guy, which is really freaking funny. So let's jump into it, shall we? Let's just go into it. So we got Marathon HQ. The studio took much risk on this. The idea of studio funding unproven, unknown project for 6 or 8 years, but for hundreds of millions of dollars. How much longer are things like this going to exist? And we have Joker. High stakes tentpole release. Hundreds of millions of dollars, 6 to 8 years of development, expected to be top 5 MPD. Yeah, that's something that people forget. Sony expects this to be a top 5 MPD, and I would be very surprised if it actually gets that. I'll probably piss off fanboys for saying this, but why does it feel like Bungie has set itself up for failure? Because Sony destroys competition by removing it. This isn't new. Who set them up to fail? I mean, good for Bungie either way, I guess. I would have been much more excited and forgiving with Marathon if D2 hadn't fallen off. Never forget what part of this game's legacy, plagiarism, will make me God. High key want this game to burn the lowest levels of the 9 hells. All right, so we have this interview. I interviewed Joseph Cross, Marathon's former franchise art director. He chatted about Marathon, striking visual style, his departure from Bungie, and the risk inherent in spending years upon toiling in secrecy on a high-stakes tentpole release. This one's a beast. Enjoy. Let's see. Can I get access to this, or is this video? Okay, so we do. We're gonna watch this or read this. Cool. And I'm gonna pick the actual video so that way. I hate you for not working. Thank you. That's cute. Thank you. Not now. Thank you. Hey, I was reading that. this is not a paywall. This story is free. You are a prick. God dang it. I hate getting blocked by stupid into your email. I'm just gonna give you a generic trash one. How about that? Here, have that one. Thank you, asshole. It's bullshit. Anyways, I think we're good now. Cool. Yep, there we are. Now I can continue recording. All right, we have the exit interview. Joseph Cross, Marathon's former franchise art director, talks leaving Bungie and devising a visual style that might have felt a little bit nerve-wracking to fund. By the way, just so we're clear, everyone wants to act like poor Joseph Cross. He's innocent. This is the same dude that followed Anti-Real, the person who had their art theft or had their art stolen, right? For Marathon. This guy, we have their actual receipts of this guy and several other Bungie employees following that artist for years. So the whole corpo lie from Bungie saying it was one rogue developer that no longer works there. Shut up. This guy is not innocent. There's a reason why his ass was thrown out the door. We all know why. There's a reason why his bitch ass is out the door. All right. Welcome to the 7th edition of Exit Interview, a series which I interview people in the video game and esports industry who have experienced some kind of major career change. The conversation, that's a nice way of saying that either they got fired or they were told to leave. The conversations are shaggy and digressive on purpose, I promise. I'm going to keep this preamble short because this might be the longest exit interview I've ever done. For this edition, I spoke with Joseph Cross, a former artist at Bungie who was recently franchise director at Marathon, the studio's upcoming futuristic extraction shooter, the godfather, as you may say, of art theft will make me god. I've written about the game before here and here. In 2023, the game revealed to heaps of praise over its visuals. 2 years later, it was panned over as a lackluster closed alpha and caught up in a scandal relating to unauthorized use of our outside artist's work. Now it seems to have rebounded, vaulting up to the top sellers chart on some online marketplaces in the lead up to its March 5th release date. By the way, I think this is a huge point. True. Again, I'm rooting for Marathon, but it's not over till it's over. People are talking about how first off, this is only in America. Globally, it's not that high. And secondly, you know who else was also number one? Dragon Age. Yeah, let that one sink in, bucko. Yeah. Listen, what matters is player counts. Concurrent player count. Because even Call of Duty, it's funny because Black Ops 6 is on here too. But Black Ops 7 was also in the top selling, and it is a dumpster fire. The Black Ops 7 is probably one of the worst Call of Duties they've had. In fact, even leaders, including Bobby Kotick or whatever his name is, even throwing shade at Activision. And of all things, which is fucking funny. But yeah, ain't that funny? How'd that work out? How'd that work out, bub? So just for reference, don't for an instant ever delude yourself and that top sellers actually means anything. Unless it's actually out. Anyways, I think it's a fallacy. It doesn't actually change actual opinion. Velguard's a perfect example of that. Reader Greb. I'm just going to call him Greb for short. Greb, I want to ask about 2013 interview you did that appeared on Bungie's website, responding to a question about how you keep your game sharp. You said that one of the most important things for you is to stay 18 years old mentally. I'm curious if you feel like you've managed that 13 years on from that interview and whether you still think that's sound advice. Joseph Cross. Well, we know this is probably true for Bungie because remember, They have the boys club. We had all the employees leak information about how everything around Marathon was toxic, about the boys club. So that sounds about right. Mentality 18, it's probably about right. Clearly, I've gotten older and my role has changed, and I've had to onboard a bunch of qualities that I know my 18-year-old self didn't have or wasn't capable of manifesting. But I think of all the stuff as essentially complementary. I'm still the same kid. I still feel like an 18-year-old in terms of my interest in what I do and the subject matter, and my fiendish, compulsive obsession with art and design animation. Yep. You were so compulsive that you put your hand in the cookie jar and took someone else's art, didn't you, kiddo? And animation, I still feel like that. The first thing that comes to mind for me is that I still collect art, whether it's... Yes, you do, Joseph Cross. You do indeed collect art. We are very well aware you love to collect art, which is why you follow artists on Twitter. We know, we've seen you on Twitter following artists. Whether it's building just terabytes of inspiration or hunting down original animation cells or comic book pages or finding new amazing genius artists that are... Sometimes I feel like people don't have hindsight about what they say. Bro. Do you have any recent exciting examples of something you've collected that is... I'm not going to make the joke twice. Cross. I've always looked for cells from animes that I grew up loving, and they're finally starting to explode in cost. But as of a few years ago, you could still buy an original cell from Akira, for example, for hundreds of bucks or a few $100. And I always geek out over, not the money shots, like random shots of angle of a motorcycle or something like that. I just pick up a few of those. I also obsess over Japanese woodblock prints, which I think are also undervalued in general. One of my favorite artists of all time is Barry McGee, who was a graffiti artist turned fine artist and has become an incredibly successful contemporary fine artist. You can find an eBay original tag of his, and I just bought one of those. When he was doing graffiti, he called himself, hey, so he knows how to pay an artist for their work. Wow, we've got proof that Joseph Cross knows how to pay for art. When he was doing graffiti, he called himself Twist. And so the way I obsessed over Mike Magnoli's original art or original cell from Kashiro Otomo, I would obsess over Barry McGee's scrawled piece of text. And that stuff is also relatively accessible. That kind of thing feeds my inner 18-year-old. I have no context whatsoever for the collection of original graffiti or work like that. What format does that come in? Graffiti, I'm gonna just I want to see specifically, let's get to Bungie and Destiny. Tell me a little about what you did at Bungie and what the job actually entails on a day-to-day basis. There we go. This is the shit we care about. As much of the memeing we've had thanks to the previous stuff, let's just jump into it. My most recent role was, for a total of 4 years, was the franchise art director of Marathon. When I joined the project, I was not called franchise art director. I was just an art director. I was probably the 10th and 12th person on that team. Every project, every art director is different. At Bungie, there are multiple art directors on multiple projects, and each one of them has their own qualities and strengths, and they are very widely. I think of it like a video game when you're choosing a character and everyone has these different stats, and you have to decide, oh, do I want to run fast or have heavier shields? That's how it ends up feeling. In some way, I index very highly on vision. I come from the concept art field, so that's my background. It's very much about art and design and detail and taste, less experience around the nuts and bolts of production and the nuts and bolts of asset creation. I end up needing that kind of support around me early on. Marathon has the same anti-cheat as D2. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. It would be almost impossible to describe on average day, certainly in the span of the 6 years that I spent working on the project. They varied incredibly from really getting in the weeds of defining style guides, working with individual artists, except for people online, and doing quick paint overs or reference gathering. You do a lot of gathering, we know that. To working with a senior leadership team. pulling your weight from an artist production point of view, managing various people, communicating to studio leadership, and working on ways to communicate your vision and build confidence in the project. The evolution of your day-to-day varies incredibly with the evolution of the project and then the evolution of yourself as a role player within the context of a team that grew from 12 to several hundred. I could throw a dart at a day and try to remember what it might be like, but it would not reflect the same day 6 months prior or past. Of all the tasks you describe, probably the least exciting, I would assume, is selling your vision to senior leadership. I'm curious about what that process looks like. It's one of those things where this was my first time in the role, and so I always felt short of Hobbit metaphor of whatever Sam said, every step he takes, he's one step further than he's ever been from the Shire. You feel like that every day. It's all new, you have no experience to draw on, and you basically just act on instinct. That's how I felt, and my instincts in terms of challenge took me toward a very production art-focused place. Within a year, we had to pivot from a slightly more realistic style to a more stylized style, and I believe, so you're telling me it was going to be more modern, like actual, maybe like Tarkov style marathon? That would have been interesting. And I believed immediately in the simplified style. But the simplified style was the risk. This look that we went for and that you see on Evolution today in the game, it clicked me right away. I was like, this is the horse I'm betting on, and I know it's challenging. That's a big part of the points. I know very early on it would make people nervous. Anything new like this at the scale, by definition, almost should be a bit nerve-wracking to fun. My distinctive way of approaching that challenge was to really approach the art side of it like production art. I'm just going to skip ahead and see if there's anything actually worth looking at. We're just skimming through at this point. It sounds like a big part of your pitch was the inherent risk of the design. Was making that pitch easy or difficult? It was easy in a way for me, creatively and professionally, because I believed in it so much. I still believe in it. I was like, if we can pull this off, we're going to be on the right side of history. Best case scenario, it becomes a big hit and help usher in a new sort of stylistic aesthetic in the industry. Worst case scenario, it's a cult classic that people who are interested appreciate. I think that latter is what's going to happen in Marathon. That's my thought. I do. I think this is going to be what you call a cult classic. At 100%. I 100% believe it's going to be a cult classic. Not like it's going to be loved by a small portion of people. The difficult part was fostering consensus that it was in fact a good idea. I had the time, probably the majority of pre-production and production. I sort of had angels on my shoulder within the studio that believed in me, that interfaced with folks on a level that I didn't necessarily have to, and essentially stood up for me and vouched for me. And you need that when you're doing something new. Yeah. I'm just skipping through. I'm curious about when the game, like the actual stuff that you play, entered the equation for you, and how did the work you were doing change when it finally did? This is probably a category of feelings or answers that I get a little bit nervous about, just politically. I don't know if there was a way to answer questions like that the way I would like to answer them without it seeming like I'm going to introduce a controversial opinion. But I can tell you the game right away made a huge amount of sense to me. I really did love the sort of bashing or sampling of extraction shooter, sort of battle royale style cinematic tense experience, which when I joined the project, I was just figuring out that Tarkov was incredibly compelling. I really did feel like this is it. This is the next thing. This is the future. I'm too terrified to play it, and I suck at shooters, but this is incredibly compelling to watch. It really is. Tarkov is really fun to watch. And the idea of merging that with sci-fi and an abandoned colony, what Marathon has done, what Arc Raiders has also done, essentially, I really believed in the formula and believed that the world kind of created itself in a way. Even from the very first playtest, I could see it. I didn't need convincing, which is funny because the first playtest, the extraction shooter, the Tarkov players did not like it. So I think the controversial side of things is I don't know how controversial this is. It became clear that if we're going to work in the Tiger engine, which is Bungie propriety engine, I wasn't comfortable with the risk that I felt sort of manifest itself in the visual direction that we had designed on paper, translating into the Tiger engine and not ending up feeling like a first cousin of Destiny. Damn. And there's people that continue to call Marathon just a shittier version of Destiny. And he kind of says that, like, I don't want it to be another Destiny. To be fair, I didn't really put it through its rigors. And there are tons of amazing graphic engineers and tech artists that I'm sure we could have got there with. But but I made a sort of pretty quick decision to pivot to something that I was sure was not going to look like Destiny. And I think I said this in another interview too, that if we were working on the Unreal Engine, I don't think the game would look how it looks now, for better or for worse. Who knows? I think you should have done Unreal Engine. If you Unreal Engine 5 with Borderlands was a nightmare, but there have been other examples where Unreal Engine does pop off. I feel like walking away from the Tiger engine is your best bet. Can I ask by what you mean? Yeah, I mean the visual psychology you have on board, going from a purely modular character fantasy. You're a runner, you're a modular cyborg of 1,000 kit parts to psychology, where you're now a capital C character with a backstory and a name. Everything that comes with it. You're going to from designing one vehicle in a fleet of 1,000. Now you're designing a Millennium Falcon. The psychology changes. I think that gets back to your original question, which is art relating to gameplay, and at what point do they collide? Okay. When Fortnite came out, there were critics and observers who noted that themes behind the battle royale genre, even the name battle royale, derive from satire, a critique of hyper competition, and the extraction genre, I think, is open to similar political reading. You drop in, you get yours, or you're ruthless competing with everyone else, and you try and get out richer than you came in. Those themes, what are you doing when you're playing an extraction shooter, the kind of competition that is you were thinking about as you were designing the visuals of the world? I'm not a game designer. I'm an artist first and a game developer second. I'm a commercial artist. I'm here to solve visual challenges. But to the extent that you need to immerse yourself and be tuned into the fantasy and experience, part of the reason I was drawn to Extraction and Battle Royale to some extent is just how intuitive, real it feels as a video game experience. It feels almost like, when you boil it down to it, kind of most realistic experience. You go to a place, there must be something there you want, there's a risk, if you killed or you're injured, you lose your stuff. It feels like a natural evolution of gameplay experience, as opposed to an arena shooter or something, which feels incredibly manufactured in a way, with a much less relatable experience to me. It also tapped into a sci-fi that I really love. It felt like that's what happened in Alien. The Alien franchise is essentially an extraction shooter. I don't know about that one, Jim. There was a movie called Prospect, which had a huge influence on us early on, which is an amazing film if anybody hasn't seen it. Kind of proto-extraction shooter movie with Pedro Pascal. So the experience, the fantasy of it was very natural, and there was a lot of low-hanging fruit for us to draw on visually, thematically. One of the things I advocated for, just through art direction, something I probably said in a few meetings but didn't really die in the hill for, was that there was a component of extraction shooter and in the Marathon universe that I think still persists even in the release form. The idea that these corporations competing for this stuff, and that runners are contractors. I love that whole side of the things. I love anytime there's an excuse to sort out creating a product out of something like this. I love branding stuff. I love putting text on stuff. That whole side of things, a little bit of The Most Dangerous Game or Running Man. There was a crossover with sports ultimately that I really liked, and it complemented the fantasy that you weren't in fact a human. I do think Bungie should restart and use real people to create art, not use AR art. Obviously, you hit a wall with a key part of the narrative, which is that it's illegal work, and there's an abandoned ecology. You're a grifter, you're a criminal. Yeah. I want to go back a little bit and ask about the beginning of the project like this. I have no conception of what it means to go into office and be tasked with beginning work on a new visual identity for a new game. Can you tell me a little bit about the first few weeks? There's no formula. There are certain truths, game development 101 goals, deliverable that exist universally, such as creating some sort of art bible, creating a style guide, starting to lock in and define how you make content. A big thing for me is informed language. Like, why does stuff look that way? That's one of my personal motivations, just period, in the industry. When you have this kind of blank check to design stuff in the future, whether it's hundreds or 2,000 years, stuff is going to look the way it looks now. So much sci-fi design can be repetitive and cynical. This cycle of influence is, if you're going to design a crate, you want to make it look futuristic. You add a bunch of bevels and seams and 45-degree angles and glowing LED screens, that kind of thing. I'm really excited, but not doing that stuff even on principle. Can they do that at this point? I don't know. I'm just trying to get to the fine tuning of stuff. Do you have any example of stuff from Marathon that you remember being either different from or better than something that already existed? Weapons are a good example. We tried to land in a spot with weapon design that felt like it had this hopeful, compelling, different combination of industrial design qualities. They're simplified, they're modular, there's something intuitive functionally about how they are put together because the artists are very tuned into form and function and product design. But then we also go this other way of color and graphic design into sort of a more playful space. A place that feels a little bit counterintuitive, sometimes for a weapon, and we do risk those comparisons to Legos or Roblox. Bro already fucking knows. I'm telling you. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I had IKEA in our style guide because of their incredibly well-designed functional modular furniture. I had IKEA in our guide. Yeah, IKEA. Yeah. Nothing says nothing says inspiration like fucking IKEA. Fucking IKEA. Oh, damn. We don't have rust really in our game. There's very little metal. These are all kind of the things we just felt like that's different. I can't say it's better because it's subjective, but it's a different approach. Yeah, we know it's going to get comparisons to Legos or Roblox, but that's not a bad thing because we were trying to follow IKEA. IKEA. Let's see. This is so funny. All this seems like exciting, interesting work. It seems like you enjoy doing it. Why did you step away? It ended up being a confluence of things. It wasn't one thing. I worked on this project for 6 years. I still consider myself essentially a commercial artist. I have identity as an artist, an individual, and understanding game development culture. At some point, I understood how I relate to all this. You know, I'm not a founder of Bungie. This is not my company, and I'm conscious of the number of projects I get to work on in my life. I'm not getting any younger. I've spent what will ultimately be 15 years essentially on two projects for Bungie, Destiny and Marathon, with film work in between. So after 6 years, leaving a week or two before release lock, I felt an incredible amount of satisfaction in what we've done and the natural cadence of kind of work that happens post-launch in a live service game. I understood what was looking like. You also had the drama and Sony and Bungie wanted you to get your ass out of here. It's also true that the level of seniority that I had, there are challenges that don't necessarily exist as an artist, and getting the phase of a project like this at that level had its own challenges. Yada, 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 yada. Yeah, let's see. There was this month or two long span where the conversation around Marathon seemed to be preoccupied with the question of, will it fail? It's like Concord in some way. I'm curious how that felt for you. That stretch where the discourse around the game was not super flattering, but also maybe not entirely about the game itself. Let's see. The kind of stuff hits everyone differently. We had both spells where there was a lot of positivity and then there was a lot of negativity. Personally, I'm able to compartmentalize a lot of that. And a big part of the reason I'm able to do that is just because getting back to my own identity as an artist. The art is really the most important thing to me here. It's difficult for me to take any of that stuff personally because I believe in the art, because I believe in what we've done. I think we did something really cool and I think it will pan out. I can't control the way the game plays. I'm not a designer. I'm not the game director. I can only control what I can control, which you couldn't control apparently because you got your butterfingers in someone else's art, but I could control. I feel really good about, and you can't take that away from me as much as the haters try online. There's a reason why you left. There's a reason. By the way, he's not ignoring it. He's absolutely seeing the McDonald's. He's seen it. He's seen the McDonald's cover. He's absolutely seen it of him working at McDonald's. it's funny because now he can go do that. Whatever the animosity is, you can't take the thing I care about the most away. Kind of did, because you're no longer working at Bungie. There's a part of me that definitely feels bummed, but sort of in the way you feel bummed like you got unlucky. You know, being in charge of art and not doing your job correctly and following the artist that you stole from, that's not being unlucky. That's just getting caught. It's like when you drop the toast and it goes face down. It's like, damn, I wish it could have gone face up when I dropped the toast. It feels like losing a lottery ticket or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That stuff never feels personal, you know? Something that sort of weighed on me, not super heavily, but something I've been aware of. You mentioned Concord. Marathon is such a massive project. The studio took such a risk on this. You know, oftentimes we feel like we sort of getting away with something. And I think about that in the big picture. The idea of studios funding unproven, unknown projects for 6 or 8 years for hundreds of millions of dollars, sort of on spec. How much are things like this going to exist? I've been part of a couple of them now. How often were you thinking about that? Was it a daily occurrence, something that you were very nervous about, or just a background thought? Probably a combination of those things. It's just really easy to lose sight that you were being bankrolled by someone. You're making a product with a ticking clock that needs to launch into the world and make profound amounts of money. Again, this is why I like hearing these interviews, because these leaders, they will leak information. They absolutely need Marathon to pop off. Once you're 4 or 5 in, it's really easy to feel like, oh, my job is to make pre-production or production content for a small team. And the profundity of releasing this stuff into the wild really can be kind of a mindfuck, especially in contrast to working on films, where everything is always on fire. You're always 3 days behind schedule. You have about 6-month window total to shoot, and it's finite and so quick compared to working in games. It's no intuitive to remember that above all, that this is a product that's being funded. Every day goes by, you're going further in the red. You're not making money. The studio's not making any money. And so that's a big one, especially when you're trying to channel creativity and get to the point where you feel like you can impose anything that feels like a risk. I mean, what a mindfuck that is, right? That's where you have to sort of put all the armor of art and have faith in your perspective and experience as an artist. All great art, commercial art anyways, is doubted, and there's a level of skepticism until there's not. Interesting. And there you go. You didn't ask him about the art plagiarism he was at the center of. Let's be honest, he would still be at Bungie had that happen. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Let's be honest. It's burnt at this point. It kind of feels like the overcooked toast. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And let's be honest. I mean, I do not feel empathy for him. He's like, you can't take this away from me. You, bitch, you already lost your job. Let's be honest here. You lost your job because of your incompetence as a Bungie leader. Let's be honest. Like, you could try to fool yourself. You're not gonna fool anyone else. But anyways, I just it's really interesting to hear him go out the door and leak some very important information that you're like, yeah. Anyways, I personally am going to continue to be skeptical. I'm going to continue to be skeptical of Marathon. Like, just really, there's no reason to have faith in this game. And I'm not saying that because I want it to fail personally. I mean, it would be funny as hell and a big middle finger to Bungie, but like, I don't care, man. I wasn't on board. Like, I wasn't on board for Concord or Dragonvale or on all these other games that have been hated on. Like, I'm one of those people that's like, if it's dog shit, I'm just not gonna play it, right? It's like, like when I saw how bad Dragonvale was, or Dragon Age Veilguard was, I'm like, thank God. Anyways, I'm Mr. Game Counselor. Let me know what you think down below. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Huzzah! All right, let's close some of this stuff down. I do need to keep this bookmarked because I do want to give credit to this. We can get rid of this one from Joker. Let's see. There are some short things we can talk about. Some short mini things. I do want to watch a video. Let me see. How long is this video?
What's up, shitters? It's you.
It is 38 minutes. Okay, the Borderlands video might be the last thing we watch. It might be the last video we watch as a react. I might personally react to these two things later. I'm trying to figure out what I would like to react to. There's like 3 small articles we can react to. But I'm going to try to find this. Go on, give me a minute. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We're just gonna jump into it. Like this is gonna be a shorter video. That's okay. It's just gonna be one of those shorter ones. Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. We're going into we're gonna try to do some shorter video reacts. And today we're talking about Project CD Red and this drama that has gone on with a mod. Now, usually it's a negative situation when you have like Nintendo or like there was the whole Nexus mod drama where they were taking away nude mods and that was pissing people off. And like, honestly, who gives a fuck what people want to do with their game? If you can mod it, who cares? It's not, unless you're not like putting someone's face on it, like that's the only thing I would care about. If you were, disrespecting and putting like someone's personal looks onto a character and they were like half naked, like you have a right to be upset. But like if someone wants to have big titty girls running around killing zombies or whatever, like pop off, right? Usually it's something negative like that. But we have a case where we have a hero in Project CD Red where they brought down a mod. Well, as you can see, Project CD Red has taken down the Cyberpunk 2027 VR mod via DMCA. Now, again, that sounds bad, but it's not as bad as you think it is. This is due to modder Luke Ross locking the mod behind a $10 subscription. Project CD Red reportedly asked Lucas Ross to make the mod free. Fucking W. Like, you hear that, you think, wow. Is this working? You think, wow. There you go, it's working. Anyways, they asked him to make it free. They weren't going to take it down. They're like, hey, can you just make it free? Just try not. He refused and deleted it instead. Luke Ross generated $20K monthly from paid mods. What a fucking cocksucker. fuck you. I don't like paid mods. Unless it's your own fucking game, I think it is the scummiest shit to do paid mods. Unless you make your own game, like you're just no. And which is funny because I have it over here somewhere too, right? I'm trying to find it. There's like sorry, I had this. Damn, I think I took it down. I have a thing pulled up specifically for here it is. Star Wars Genesis. This is a mod that I'm gonna try to install and download. It turns Starfield 100% into Star Wars, which you think, like in the past I've talked about Destiny and making something into something it's not. Like we can all agree Starfield suck ass, and this actually makes me feel like I'm gonna get my money's worth. So I actually gonna try to install this. This is gonna take some time for me to learn how to do, but it looks fucking sick. And it's free. That's right. It's free. So back to this. This guy's being a fucking ass face. And this is the result. So Luke Ross versus this Project CD Red situation is a bit weird. Project Red has stated that they don't want Cyberpunk VR mod to be sold behind a paywall, suggesting that it should be free as it violates banned content guidelines, hence why they issued a DMC strike. Luke Ross, for defending his Cyberpunk VR mod, stated that his software is not designed for Cyberpunk, but other games, titles like Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Death Stranding, Doom Eternal, Far Cry, etc. Is this within Project CD rights to request a DMCA takedown a mod that includes Cyberpunk? It's also within Luke Ross' rights to make his own software free, which is why he took the mod down. What are your thoughts on the situation? So let's read this. I'd like to briefly address. Oh, damn. Okay, I just got to fix this. We're just going to have to address. Woo, there we go. I'd like to briefly address the discussion around the Cyberpunk VR mod created by Luke Ross. We have indeed issued a DMC strike, as it was available as a mod, only accessible to Patreon subscribers. This directly violates our fan content guidelines. We never allow monetization of our IP without our direct permission and or agreement in place. We were in touch with Luke last week and informed him that he needs to make it free for everyone with optional donations or remove it. We are big fans of mods to our games. Some of the work out there has been nothing short of amazing, including Luke's mod for Cyberpunk 2077. We are happy to see it return as a free release. However, making a profit from our IP in any form always requires permission from Project CD Red. Then you have Luke saying, "Thank you, Jan. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you're within your rights to demand that my software needs to be free. It is not derivative work or fan content. It supports a large number of games which were built upon different engines, and it contains absolutely zero code or assets from your IP. Saying that infringes your IP rights is equivalent to maintaining, for example, the Riva tuner violates gamer publishers' rights because it intercepts the image of the game is drawing on the screen and it processes them in order to overlay its statistics." I'm just going to give you the biggest. I'm going to give you what really matters here. If Luke tries to take CD Projekt to court, he will lose. Why? Cheats. There are hundreds, probably thousands of cheat websites where they make programs, software that interact with multiple games. And guess what? They all violate those games' IPs. They all infringe upon the rights of the developers, the publishers. So he thinks that, oh, because it works for multiple games, it's okay. That's not an argument with, sorry, kiddo. You do not have the rights. He lists all these other games. You do not have the rights. You do not own rights to any of those games. Like you don't. You do not own rights at all. Like Doom, you don't own. Far Cry, you don't own. Pandora, you don't own. Death Stranding, you don't own. Like, you can't make that argument. Which is why Nintendo themselves keeps shutting down emulators, or try to, or shuts them down because they're paid. There's a reason why the Switch emulator got shut down, is because people were trying to pay or sell it for paid subscriptions, or trying to sell emulating the games. Like, there's a reason. It violates their rights. Sure, you made the program. Who gives a fuck? It's all geared to other IPs that you don't own. Like, it's so fucking stupid. W response, absolutely. Mods are little amplifiers to make the gameplay better. Wow, at this point, they are destroying art itself. Mods meant to be like people who want to make beautiful. If the mod modified the goddamn game, then it's their rights. Yeah. Yeah, because mods are free. You don't need to pay the paywall just to get mods in Cyberpunk greedy companies. Well, that's the thing. We're not even, Project CD Red is wanting to make the mod free. Like, hey, the W company, CD Projekt Red, is for the gamer here. They're like, hey, you can make these mods. We love mods. Just don't try to sell it. Don't be a dickhead. If the mod okay, we can fix this now. If the mod violates the game's license, why should he be surprised? He's earning subscription fees from a mod for a game that they own rights to. So why is he suddenly surprised, especially since he knew perfectly well he couldn't do it, and now he's playing the victim? He could have simply taken the mod down after the DMCA request, keeping his income coming for other titles that are currently supported, but instead he's got to release a statement. It's not like Project CD Red is going to backtrack their decision. No, it's not. He could have at least charged a volunteer fee for downloading the mod, which, if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't violate the license. CDPR is one of the few major companies that supports free mods, even promotes them on its social media. Yeah, they could have just said fuck you and shut it down, but gave him a route to still make money off of it. Absolutely. That's the sad thing. He's like, hey, you can do donations. That's fine. Which that's what most modders do. They have a donation, and you could be aggressive with it because no one's going to be like, okay, yeah, you got it in my face, but you did the work. You know, people are going to support you. These Korean games are ridiculous. Like, they choose control. They put you on a paywall. What are you talking about? Korean games? Bro, we're talking about Project CD Red. It's their game. Not Luke Ross's. They're on the right. Agree. CD Red, Project CD Red has the right to decide what mods are available. Every game has this rule. You can't charge for mods. Asking so I can understand the situation. It looks like he's arguing the legal case of derivative work, no code assets, all his work. Project Red are arguing their terms of service, which would be specific to the game. No. People saying, oh, he's making money off someone else's product. Oh, that's so wrong. This is a ridiculous position. Entire industries exist around selling things for products others have made. Do car wash operators give kickbacks to car manufacturers? Brother. It's not the same. If I sell you a bike helmet, do I need permission from the bike maker? No. No, but if you are trying to sell a subscription, I think a better example would be a smart car. You buy a smart car that has a subscription to get features, but you are going in and selling your own subscription that modifies the smart car. I'm pretty sure that the person who's selling the car, by the way, I think it's very scummy to ever sell features like that, but that's the world we live in, and why I won't ever buy a smart car where you have to buy some shitty subscription to get access to something in your car. But that's essentially what it is, right? They're not going to be happy that you're modifying the car, right? Why does software development get a special pass to restrict how consumers use their purchase? It's not, first off, just so we're clear, just so we're clear, just so we're clear, if they wanted to, they could. If it was feasible, like we're talking about digital tracking, which is far easier to do than an entire country, state checking to see every physical car and see what they're doing. But if companies could put a way that you couldn't modify your car without their permission, they would. Let's not act like they wouldn't. If they could make you have to get them to sign off on modifying cars, they would. Dude is high. So they can make money off these mods and people buy them, and that's why they put payrolls because of it. Minus IQ response. You don't need a bike to use a helmet or a car to use a water hose, but you need to use the game to mod it. Exactly. It's scummy to restrict people. I think, yeah, you make a good point. You don't need a bike for you don't need a bike for, you don't need a helmet for the bike. You don't need a water hose. You don't need a car to use a water hose. Yeah, I mean, you have to own the game first to have access. It's not making money that's wrong. It's how he's making it. You're able to earn an income from pages like Nexus Mods, and the mods being completely free. He can also set up a donation page. They just ask for the mod to be free, not for him to earn money from it. Sure, but this isn't some 12-year-old who scripted better melee combat in Skyrim. He's a software engineer who quit his job. I'm just going to go. Other games have never complained. GTA, Red Dead, Mafia have been removed too. And there are great mods in Nexus that probably earn a lot while being free. By making mods, you have to follow the ULA involving no paid access, no illegal content, no infringing on IP. Yeah, that's a stupid rule. 2 companies, Take-Two, have decided to enforce it. 2 out of 40. Nintendo, even streaming once enabled paid mods via Workshop, they ended up removing it. Mods are made because you love the game or want to contribute to the community. That's what mods are. If you want to make money, make your own individual software and make it as pricey as you want. There's no arguing with people like this. They're dick suckers. Probably won't block you, even if you're very stupid. Well, people will probably block you because you are very fucking stupid. There's no way, it's indefensible. And anyone, I'm going to say this. If you're a gamer and you're not pro gamer, you're pro retard. You suck dick. And that's what this person is. I'll lose my mind if I can't unlock a feature or modify my car. Oh yeah, I'll lose my mind too. This is why I would never buy a car where I can't just do what I want with. This person, you can't have a conversation with them because they're going to try to do what's beneficial for the player, for the gamer. I can't believe we're having an argument where we're defending someone who's being scummy and is going against the wave. This is someone who would argue for why it's okay to have ads in video games. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no. It's okay to have ads in video games. It's okay. You should be able to be a McDonald's ad pop up while you're trying to Mario Kart. Make that user a CEO of any AA company because they think the same. Business first before fun. Exactly. I'm a bit on the fence on this one. One hand, it does directly include Project C Red, but on the other hand, he doesn't use any of the game's resources to create the mod. It would be like telling NVIDIA they can't sell GPUs because the drivers are compatible with their games. Well, see, this is the thing. NVIDIA probably actually works with the games, like the actual companies, because that's something that people are making a profit from IP in any form always requires permission. Imagine your subscription for your AC in your car ends in the middle of summer. Oh, Jesus. I think this is something that people aren't looking. I'm not going to zoom out for this, but right here, it says always requires permission. So it's not like this Project C Red wouldn't give permission for certain things that they approve on. Same thing with NVIDIA. You're talking about NVIDIA, they get permission and they have a partnership with studios, with publishers. Like, what are we talking about? The thing is, the mod without the game is useless. He's earning money because someone else's work. As someone else already mentioned, he could switch to donations. By the way, Project does not own Cyberpunk. They also pay fees. No, the individual rely on the games. The software itself does not. If you release the compatibility configs for free on GitHub, but only made real subscription fees, it would circumvent it, because then I could download the configs without paying for the software. Same goes for GPU drivers. I can download them completely separately from the GPU. I can install them without the GPU itself, though. There would be no difference at all if Real VR offered the configs free to download, even if it relies on software to be used. NVIDIA doesn't charge for the drivers, just for their hardware. Exactly. So you should have understood he didn't charge or increase the price for it to work on Project Red. That's why I used the comparison. He's not selling standalone hardware. He's selling code based on code for it to work properly. There's no way he's hooking up his app to projects without knowledge or resources. The only way it works is officially partnered with Project CD Red, but that's on Project CD Red to decide. No, he isn't. It's standalone software that is made to work on top of the game, not through the game. It's not a standalone software, it's a mod. Files are installed directly into the game folder. You can't even connect dots. It's absolutely standalone software. The files are not installed directly into the game itself. It's an injector. It runs by injecting itself into the runtime, not the game files. My fucking guy, you run a bat to install the files in the folder and the DDL injection into the engine. Shut the fuck up dearly. It doesn't change. Oh my God. Yeah. There's just some people that they want to sit there and just be a dickhead. Windows clarification, you need to pay 200 quid for that. Hardware drivers need Windows certification. People love false equivalences. Well, this scummy Greek company will ruin gains. Again, it's not this scummy greedy company will ruins games. It's not even Project CD Red. It's just some douchebag that's trying to make money off a mod. And then you have these weird assholes that are anti-gamer for some fucking reason. He's right. IP laws are cancer and should be changed. And it's exactly the problem that caused Stop Killing Games in the first place. If he works hard to make sure mods are high quality, then it's his right. He can charge whatever he wants. If Project wants free mods, then they should buy his mod off him. Otherwise, they just want free stuff without any work. Brother, you need to worry about your own country. You need to worry about the fact that your country doesn't allow fucking memes. I'm sorry. Worry about your own country. Your IP, like, you got to worry about your own fucking laws, dude. I think it's funny that dickheads like this are trying to paint Project CD Red as bad guys. They just said, we love mods, just make it free so people can play. In no fucking way is it because they're lazy. It's not like they were going to fucking make it anyways. They're not benefiting. They're not trying to make a buck off of someone other work. Like, how fucking retarded do these people have to be? I'm actively, these are the people, this is why modern gamer is going down this shitter, because retards like this exist. It's a dude, not a company. Yeah, it's this dude is a full-blown retard. They should buy this mod of him. No, they shouldn't, because it's their fucking game. They can decide if something works with it or not. It's crazy. If you do something that interacts with their IP, they have a right to say, no, you can't sell something that interacts with our game. You know what's a good example? Controllers. If someone tries to sell, a perfect example is Zims. Zimming. There's several games that are, no, you cannot use Zim to modify, even though it's a separate device. You cannot use Zim, and sure, granted, you could still buy it, and then they can ban you for using it. But we're talking about a single player game that isn't like, why are you gonna ban that, right? Like, but it's directly interacting and modifying their IP. It's a software, not a physical device. Like, it was a physical device that you put on the VR and it automatically does it on its own. Like, what can you do? You're selling a device. They have literally never done this for any mod, no matter how tasteless or offensive. It really says a lot that this is what's considered crossing the line.
Command and control.
Because it's behind a paywall. Project Zero have always said that the day one, all mods should be free. If they disable the use of Cyberpunk on their mod, they can put it back up, simply as that. Right, I know that what's up, but a lot of people only see the end result and don't see the bigger picture. Their action here means a lot more people understand. I don't understand. What are we arguing? I don't understand. Having a hard time agreeing with a lot of these takes and believe Luke should have the ability to sell his mod as he wishes. So what? Please tend to your kids. Kind of crazy that people shouldn't be allowed, like buying a car and Ford saying companies can't sell mod. It's not the same. It's not the same. It has nothing to do with DMCA because they offered a mod for free. They just want to block making money related to this game. It's fair, and also getting paid to work on mods. This is corporate life. And this I thought this was going to be an easy topic to cover. I'm actively losing brain cells. I think I'm done. I think I'm cooked, man. I'm actively losing. I'm losing my mind. FYI, Modder has made a free... There's a free version. His mod offers way more feature than Luke Ross's, allowing you to actually move your arm. I need to buy, you know what? I need to buy, I need to do this. I want to play, I've not played Cyberpunk 100%. I've only played the expansion. I need to play Project CD Red with VR. I need to. Maybe I'll do it in the summer. Maybe we'll see how things pan. I'll buy a VR set. Oh, baby. Just heard struck Luke VR, but I'm amazed at how many people don't know about the consistent update, free and high quality Cyberpunk mod. It's not the shitty traditional Vorpix injection, but a straight up separate mod made by their lead developer. No fucking way. Luke's paid mod offers slick performance, but no real controllers or deep 3D. Damn, now it's gone. Is the superior and it's free. I'm gonna like it so I can come back to this and oh damn, get fucking sent to the Shadow Realm. Okay, well, there you go. Fuck that dude. There's already a free version. Suck a dick. Let me know what you guys think. I thought it is a slightly shorter video, but it kind of went on at the end. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think Project CD Red is in the right here? Do you think that they should be able to decide whether you can do paid mods or not, even if it's like a separate part software? Do you think they're within the rights or not? And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to game out and peace. Oh man, that's funny. Man, we only need to go back to that and see that that guy got shit on. That guy was like, you know what? Fuck you. Here's the free version. Suck a dick. You gotta love it, man. Sometimes it's a fine chef kiss when things work out. Chef's kiss. Oh. All right, we will be doing probably a couple short videos. I don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna do some back-to-back short videos. This might be like multiple videos in a week and like variety. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it. So, but the last thing I do before we get off is Borderlands. We talked about. We're gonna talk some Destiny. We're gonna talk. We might do some Anthem. We'll see. Let's play it out, right? That's outrageous. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. Space, the next frontier. You know, one of the things that I enjoyed was Halo Reach. When Bungie created the mission where you get to fly around in space and get to have a space battle. It was short, but it was really fun and also rage-inducing, especially on Legendary. I want to bang my head against the wall. And then Destiny comes out and they introduce, you know, the ship's there and you get to do the animation, but you never actually get to fight with spaceships. And it always sucks. Like Warframe has their spaceship fights and you're like, man, why can't Bungie do space fights? Why are they so against space fights? Well, apparently even back then with Halo Reach, leaders of Bungie were against space fights. It's crazy. Let's check it out. That's right. We have an article by Games Radar. Halo Reach devs had to fight tooth and nail to keep space combat after Bungie wanted to cut it. And the FPS was originally supposed to have a second mission using it. Now, at least PvP space combat exists via mods. Man, if that's the case, I need to play that. I'm going to be honest. We started playing Halo Reach. We'll go back to it and try to beat it on Legendary. I am dreading the space fight because I can already see it in my future where I'm going to cry. This is going to be an interesting topic in a game stuffed with unforgettable moments. Yeah, I always, when I first played Halo Reach, the campaign kind of was like not hitting for me because it wasn't Master Chief. But after going back and replaying it, by the way, the graphics are still really good. The gameplay, really fucking good. And the PvP is still fire. It was definitely one of the top 5 Halo games for me. Absolute top 5. Great story. Like it does a great job of doing what the OG Halo doesn't do, where you feel this more connection and you feel the severity of the Covenant, you know, actually destroying and murdering everything. Like you are feeling the threat of the Covenant, whereas Master Chief lets you feel like a total badass. So that being said, it felt really cool being able to fly around in space and having that experience that we've really never really had until Halo Reach. And I say that not from Bungie. Let me specify. We've had it in other games, but not from Bungie. The Halo Reach mission that throws you into the thick of a giant space battle remains a glowing highlight, but it was apparently a battle in itself to even get space combat into the game at all. It is crazy. How is it that you have a space game and everyone's so resistant to space battles? I mean, doesn't even Starfield have space battles? And base Starfield sucks. There's a reason why people mod that game. It's awful. And I unironically think that Bungie could make a better space fight. Responding to a viral Halo Reach mod that lets players enter ship-to-ship combat against each other. We're gonna look at that in a minute. Former Bungie designer Niles Sankey remembers pitching the iconic mission The Long Night of Solstice and then struggling to keep it in for launch. Might surprise people that we had to fight tooth and nail to keep space combat in Reach, Sankey tweets. Higher ups at Bungie wanted to cut space combat. By the way, guarantee this was Pete Parsons. Higher up at Bungie wanted to cut space combat, which wasn't unreasonable since the feature content requests were significant. In fact, there was originally 2 space comp missions planned for Reach. The second was to happen right before the last mission. Damn, we could have had a cool space. Wait, I think before the final mission is when isn't that when the big guy, I forgot what his name is, dies. He blows up and you fall down, then you make your way back to the city. I don't know if that's the same one or not, but it's been really cool. This second space combat mission was apparently only ever really an idea on paper, but it would have had players zoom into space to repair various orbital cannons before returning to the planet's surface and calling down death from high above. Sorry, from up high, according to Senki, who says this section was cut due to budgets and resource constraints. We added the boardable Mac cannon at the end of the Pillar of Autumn mission, he continues, and called it a day. Then they let us keep the first space mission, and only we made it our E3 gameplay reveal. He adds that the Halo mod community makes such incredible content and wishes that Microsoft was able to create official Halo content that was half this cool. Space combat hasn't returned to the series since the long night at Solstice. It hasn't returned to Bungie at all, though Halo 4 did feature a couple of rad flying segments that would fit the bill if they were, set outside of a planet atmosphere. This year's Halo Campaign Evolved is unlikely to have any ship-to-ship combat either, on account of it being a remake. But there are multiple Halo games in development at the moment, so you never know what might happen. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even Railjack took a while to optimize. Remember those first few months? Oh yeah, but they even announced that it was going to be buggy, and I think people would be okay if, I don't know, for an experience. Like, I'm interested to see what this viral mod is. The Halo Master Chief Halo Reach Slip Space Beta. Oh, that looks sick. Wait. There's no fucking way that you are you telling me you get to drive the actual Covenant ships? That's sick if that's the case. What? Hey, yo. This gives me Railjack vibes from Warframe. Yeah, you're fighting cruisers. What the fuck? And fleet invasion. It is actually PvP. Dude, that's sick. Hey, yo. I wish they had a video up. This is fucking sick. Oh, there goes the Pillar of Autumn. Yo, this is actually really cool. Well, I play Halo 4, and the last mission, it was really cool because you get to fly and do spaceship battles. Kind of. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. It's somewhat the same, kind of spacey. It's not the same. Dude, this looks sick. Let's see what people are saying. I really don't know that technical side. All I've been told is that the AI doesn't work well. What if you code them to fly like they were on solid ground? Not really, as the AI flying vehicles doesn't work like at all in the ships. I wish this was single player. It looks so fun, but no one wants to play with it. Hypothetically, it is possible to make a firefight where you fight waves of ships. Yeah, the only way to get the game type is through Discord. The drop link is currently not working. This was in January, by the way, so this is recently. I'm happy that in some of the newer maps, you can use the cast class. Also, the Earth map is really fun. But may I suggest adding Autumn class cruiser, Charon class light frigate. Ooh, also some flyable longswords. I'm interested. Let me see. See, Halo Reach. Let's see if we can find Halo Reach. Space Battle Mon. All right, here we go. right, here we go. Here, we're gonna look at some clippage just to see what this looks like. This looks pretty detailed. Yeah, this actually looks pretty detailed, dude. Oh my God. You killed. That's crazy. Yeah, it just looks just a space fight. That's crazy. Yo, you do the Mac cannon attack too? Bro, this looks sick. Sure, it's not like the most like detailed, but who cares? Like, who cares, man? This looks sick. Yeah, I mean, this looks dope. Now, I kind of wish you could board, like actually board and do like Starfield where you could board other player ships and fight them in game. But this is still sick. With the amount of work to make a space battle, soon be getting Railjack update Warframe soon. We'll see. Yeah, this is sick. I kind of wish we got gameplay of the other ships besides this one. It's also, I think this is theater mode. I think we're watching theater mode. It feels like it's theater mode that we're watching, but this is still sick. Oh no! Falling in space. Oh, here we go. There, we got some gameplay. Yeah, that's sick. Oh my God. That just looks real freaking strong. Yeah, I mean, I would say the mod is definitely gonna make things spicy. But it sounds like the biggest problem is getting people to play. I mean, you're talking about Master Chief, and you're probably gonna have to Discord. You're gonna have to join the Discord probably for that community to have people to play. So it kind of sucks because that's the bad thing about Master Chief. Master Chief Collection is absolutely amazing and worth the money, but there's going to be certain aspects of the game that doesn't have the player base anymore. Like, that's kind of why a lot of people were hoping for a newer. I think you could bring more people back to the Master Chief Collection. One, it being released on PlayStation, but also the fact that you introduced like Halo 5. A lot of people did like that PvP. Obviously the campaign sucked, but I do think PvP would bring people back. But man, it is crazy that even all these years later, we're just learning new stuff about Bungie and Bungie leaders, and they just didn't want to do space fights, which is crazy because I think most people remember that mission with a lot of positivity. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think that future Halo should have space fights? Do you think Bungie should add space fights to Destiny? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Huzzah. All right, so that's that one. And then we got this one, guys. We're talking about Warframe. That's right. We're talking about, I know, I snuck a Warframe in here somehow. Whoops. Whoopsie doopsie. And actually, I'm going to save this one for later. I'll do this another day. We really don't have a lot of time. I don't want to watch an ad. I'm trying to get the title, asshole. Thank you. Trying to get the thumbnail in there, asshole. Screw you. Screw you. All right, here we go. This will probably be the last react we do, and then I've got to make a title thumbnail for tomorrow, and then I don't know if we'll see if we live stream tomorrow, because tomorrow's Wednesday and I do have debate tomorrow, so we'll see. Damn, I do want to talk about this bastard, this weird, creepy bastard. This guy reminds me, this is your typical Destiny Bungie bro. Like, I do want to talk about that bastard. I might react to Moist Critical and see what he says. All right. I'm going to go ahead and drop. Ah! What is love? The first stream. Let's go. That one guy. You're that one guy. You came at the end of the stream. We're about to wrap up with good old Borderlands. We've actually talked about quite a bit. We actually had some variety. When I said this year I would try to do more variety, I've actually kind of held true to that. You can't say the stream wasn't full of variety, right, chat? We've talked about all kinds of different things, other drama outside of just Destiny. We talked a little bit about Marathon. Did I talk about Destiny? Kind of ish. We talked about Halo/Destiny with the space fights. I think that counts as my Destiny quota. There's going to be other Destiny stuff we talk about. Like I still got all this stuff to react to, so it's not over. It's just the beginning. I hate that it did that to me, and I liked having the thumbnail. Yes, there we go. I like having the thumbnail as the background as the intro. It's always nice. And also, I'll see if I actually edit. I said I want to edit stuff. We'll see if I do. I just got off work. Did you ever figure out that Bionicle set yet? No. I didn't. I did not figure it out, unfortunately.
Echoes call another request to smuggle.
Another request to smuggle. Scholars, welcome back to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Now, you might remember a game that people were going to say, like Edge of Fate when Destiny was not doing well. And people were talking about how this little game was going to take everyone's attention and that Destiny was going to be dead. Which it's funny, Destiny killed itself. Bungie killed Destiny for the year. Like they didn't need help. But it's a game called Borderlands 4. Now, Borderlands 4. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the thumbnail and it threw me off. Borderlands 4, which I'm going to say I liked Borderlands 4. I thought it was fine. Overall, I thought it was fine. But apparently there was obviously a lot of issues, and we did struggle with frame rate and all that jazz. But a lot of people did have issues with it. And we're going to watch a video by Arachnaka. This is about a couple days, like a week ago. Why Borderlands 4 is a disappointing sequel. We're going to react to it. It is fairly long. We may not watch it all. We may just skip through this. They go into detail. This feels like it's an actual, like what I would call a brutally honest review. We will probably talk about this, listen to the specifics, and we'll probably touch a little bit of everything. By the way, the link will be down below. If you want to watch the full thing, here's the deal. This is a reaction. I'm going to give my input on it, but I also kind of want you to be able to watch it. So that's kind of like when I see a longer video like this, I try to skip over things so you have a reason to go watch their video. That way I can make room for my own opinions about certain topics. That's just how I roll. That's how I react. I feel like if I could just sit here and record for 2 hours, no, it's just a little much, right? And also, I don't want to sit there and record and just take someone's work as my own. That's how I feel. Anyways, expect me to pause and react because that's what a react should be. But we're going to jump in. We're going to watch the full thing of why is it worse than Borderlands 3, which is weird because I didn't really like Borderlands 3. I'm going to be honest. I did not like Borderlands 3. I'm going to make that clear. I thought Borderlands 2 was better than 3. I did think that, like, the combat was better in Borderlands 3, but the story was much worse, in my opinion.
What's up, shitters? It's your boy, Gooch Goop. Now let's jump right in.
Gooch Goop. Listen, you can never say that my intros are weird again. Okay, that's just, that's the sound. I can't raise it up any higher.
Into it. I want to be clear from the top of the video, I am by no means saying that Borderlands 4 is a bad game. It's not. It's a good entry into the series overall, and I've put a good amount of time into it. Does it have issues? Absolutely.
Yes, it
Even
does.
in the current state, it's a good game, and it's a fun game. That being said, in this video, I want to look at the many ways that BL4 feels almost like a direct downgrade from Borderlands 3, and maybe counter some of the common arguments that I see within this conversation. At the end of this video, I also hope to toss some ideas out there as to why this might have happened. While I'm going to try and be as fair and objective where possible as I can while comparing these two games, this is all, of course, just my own opinion, especially when we start getting into my thoughts on the why behind this all. I don't have any direct insight into Gearbox, but I've been around the community for years and have seen the entire life cycle of BL3, Wonderlands, and now the beginnings of BL4s. In that time,
I never played Wonderland. I heard that it was... I've heard a mixed bag about Wonderlands.
I've also seen a lot of the good and the bad of how Gearbox interacts with the community. I know, this video is going to be a lot more reasonable than the title would imply. I am not going to be flaying Randy's flesh from his bone today. That's more of a springtime activity. But with that out of the way, let's get into another iconic Arachnica Yells at Clouds video.
Endgame. All right. Yeah, this does seem like a brutally honest review.
The single biggest downgrade and issue currently plaguing the game. Borderlands 4 has a huge content problem, and that's something that a lot of the different things that I talk about in this video are going to call back to in one way or
I thought the vaults probably should have been in game. Like you could go through the game in like the open world and do the vault, like the boss fights. I thought that would be cool. I thought it's weird that they did not expand upon that, introduce new vault bosses or like the invincible versions of them. Like that'd been kind of cool too, is like fighting invincible versions. Especially like I remember Borderlands 2 with all those invincibles, especially when we recently replayed to get ready for Borderlands 4. We replayed 2 and did all the DLC, and we found a bunch of invincibles that were like, how the hell do you beat this? I've never played this. It was a fun time.
Another. But the most egregious issue here, and the one I'm sure everyone is already familiar with, comes from the lack of endgame content in particular. I know you've heard this a million different times from a million different bozos, but if I want this video to be comprehensive, I gotta talk about it and you gotta listen to it. You have to listen to it or no goodnight kisses. Borderlands 4 launched with very little to do in the endgame outside.
Well, goddamn. That sounds like I'm going to be able to go to sleep tonight because my cat won't sit. Either two things she loves to do: get on my face and lick my face, or she turns around and plops her ass right on my face. And then I have to like wake up and then move her out of the way.
Of farming bosses and the various activities within the open world, but those activities aren't really anything new, especially considering a majority of the ones that actually get revisited are just more bosses to farm. Order bunkers, caves, and ripper drill sites are all just bosses for you to add to your farming rotation.
Yep.
And while bunkers and caves have mobbing within them before each boss, none of it is required and can all be sprinted straight through. Drill sites do have required mobbing before the boss will spawn, but this is maybe a minute of mobbing for each run, and it's not particularly difficult, being pretty much a one-to-one of the obelisks from Wonderlands. Outside of those, BL4 has side quests, collectibles, world events, bounties, and rift bubbles. There's also a weekly rotation of wildcard missions, big encore bosses, and Maurice's
I know a lot of people are upset about those wild cards and just how they just aren't good. Also, I think my cat dive bombs my stomach. It hurts. Yeah. I never loaded up for Mercenaries Day either, so that's kind of funny. I never played. I've yet to update. By the way, I still have refused to update my Borderlands game. I still have the OG build where you could sit there and throw the insta kill knife. Like, I've yet to update my game. That's right. I've yet to update it. Fuck them. I play how I want to play. Fuck you.
vending machine. I suppose we'll slap vaults onto the list as well, so I can talk about how underwhelming those are. This does sound like a lot when I list it all out.
Wait, you
but
thought
a lot of
vaults
these
were
are things that
underwhelming?
are present in previous games and or are vapid and don't actually add a lot to the end game. Length, no girth. Side quests, of course, have been present in every game prior. BL4, however, did actually add the ability.
See, ladies, sometimes it's not about how long it is. It's about how girthy it is, because the girth can get the job done when the length isn't there. You know, okay.
To
Sorry.
replay these missions so that you can farm the rewards from them.
By the way, I love the
times,
bubbles. They're really
which
cool.
is really cool, especially considering quests are a great source of gameplay with required mobbing. Except for the fact that BL4 does away with unique quest rewards, and that when replaying these missions, there's no dialogue skip, which can be incredibly frustrating for some certain missions with a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
This leaves mission replay with no real use outside of wanting to experience the entirety of a mission again for no real reward. The weekly wildcard missions do solve this by offering a specific legendary reward each week on completion of the mission, but this too suffers from a lack of a dialogue skip. So if you really want to farm whatever gun is on that weekly rotation, you better hope it's a quick one with minimal yapping. Genuinely, I think it's more time efficient to just farm the dedicated boss than run weekly wildcards a majority of the time, especially considering they just announced that they have plans to finally buff the drop rates. The rest of the weekly rotations are also nothing to.
That was also something that I never talked about that I wanted to talk about. They had apparently buffed drop rates and then reverted that, like whatever they had changed, and it pissed off so many fucking people. Like the drop rates were awful, and I guess they made changes for another update that recently came out, and then they reverted that, which just made, like, I think Jolts was one of the main creators that said, I'm done with 4. We're going back to 3, which is crazy. I don't know how. See, I think it's interesting. I'm very curious. How do you make a career as a content creator for a single player game? I would like to see a proper multiplayer on these Borderlands games. I mean, I don't, and here's why. You introduce actual multiplayer, unless it's its own standalone thing, into a single player game that can be co-op. You introduce that, it becomes a live service game, and I don't want it to be live service, because then that means it has to be online. And that's one of the best things about Borderlands, is that it's a game that you can play offline, you can modify, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You own it. I think the bastardization of Borderlands is trying to do this in the middle. It's a live service game, but it's a single player co-op campaign game. It doesn't know what the fuck it wants, and it's really freaking stupid.
Special. Big encores make farming a single specific boss each week more worth your time, increasing their health pool, but also greatly buffing the drop chance. Husk rotted away in my Staples office chair. Bounties are also being generously considered endgame. It's another activity that can be done at any point in your playthrough and effectively is just a repeatable set of mini side quests.
Yeah.
Go here and collect things. Borderlands 1. Except now, while they are repeatable mobbing content, they spawn randomly, are much shorter, and more often than not, don't give you a hell of a lot for your efforts. This is pretty much the only source of required mobbing content that is present within the endgame, and your ability to play it is gated by being at the right place at the right time, with no way of triggering them yourself. Final thing in the open world is Rift Bubbles, which is effectively just
I love Rift Bubbles.
bounty in a somewhat randomly spawning bubble zone that contains a randomly selected boss enemy. Yup, more bossing. And now vaults. The reason
Well, not a bad thing.
to even add this to the list here is because a vault is no different than any of the other major bosses that have their own separate map tied to them. Saul, Callus, Lictor, Timekeeper, and now even Minister Screw all offer
Bloom
the same
Reaper.
gameplay opportunities as vaults do, except that some of those maps are actually longer to mob through than the vaults are, assuming you choose to mob through them. None of these maps have required mobbing after completing their associated missions, and vaults are no different. Most of the time someone engages with a vault, it's to sprint to the end and farm the boss. These were
Okay. As a former D2 player and Godslayer, the thing that made me stop playing was the Invisible Man effect. Now I play Warframe and just hit LR5. Oh, damn, you're higher than I am. This feels fun to mess around now. I'm jealous. You're legend. I'm still Mastery 28. I'm salty. Just a little. I don't know. Like, I don't understand this complaint where he keeps saying that it's not required to mob. It's not required to mob. You could just blitz through it. You could just choose to fight the mobs. I don't understand the complaint here. This is the one thing that I don't understand, and I will never understand about this community, and I'm glad I don't. This community continues to say shit that they need a company to hold their hand and make them do something. Like people bitching about needing to nerf or buff a single player campaign. That was the dumbest shit, and is still the most retarded shit I've seen from a video game community, where active content creators were asking for shit to be nerfed. Just don't fucking use it. But you have to. No, you fucking don't. It's not a live service fucking game, you retard. Like, so that's the kind of vibe I got with his statement, is that people are blitzing through it. Just don't blitz through it. Unless you're just not happy with the mob style content that you have to do in vaults. But like, if you don't want, you're saying that you need to be forced to do it, then just do it.
The obvious opportunity to give this game some endgame mobbing content, and yet nothing. Borderlands 3 in current day has an unbelievable amount of content and ways to engage in the endgame, but of course it didn't start like that. The most common counter I hear to how underwhelming the endgame of BL4 is compared to BL3 is that 4 just needs more time, that 3 was also a bit underwhelming at launch. I entirely disagree with this argument. Let's go over what BL3 had to offer immediately at launch. Of course,
okay, this is fair.
Overlap, side quests, collectibles and crew challenges, rare spawns and bounties, but alongside bossing, BL3 also had endgame mobbing content at launch with 6 proving grounds or trials and 3 circles of slaughter, each making use of different enemy types and bosses. Within the overlap, there is some things that each game did do better. For BL3, side quests actually having unique weapons tied to them in a way does make them feed into endgame content more than in 4, as they give more gear for you to try out in the endgame, whether it's good or utter dog shit, as a lot of the non-legendary uniques in BL3 tended to be. Collectibles and crew challenges were a lot more engaging to complete. With crew challenges, you'd help various NPCs complete certain tasks around the maps and be rewarded with cosmetics or guns. Some of these had you parkouring around platforms to get to and turn off a radio broadcast, some were tied to unique enemies that you had to kill, and some were just collection challenges, except they had a lot more flavor, like Claptrap building a new girlfriend out of decommissioned Claptrap parts, eventually leading to a whole new NPC on Sanctuary once completed. They weren't just all reskinned echo logs, they were reskinned echo logs with flavor and often actual rewards. While I personally prefer the rare spawns of BL3 and do still somewhat miss them being rare, especially with how neat I thought the bounty board system there was, it is hard to actually argue that it was better. BL4's bounties don't have any specific drops tied to them, rather giving you a higher chance at pulling world drop legendaries from your rewarder on completion. It's a hell of a lot more streamlined and much less frustrating than having to hope an enemy with a 20% chance to spawn will drop you an item that they have a
This video makes me want to play Borderlands. I'm not gonna lie, even though I know there's nothing new for me to do because I'm not updating it to do the new shit. Because that would require me to actually have to look up what to do, like new builds, and I don't want to do none of that. I just want to load in and kill shit. To be honest, I feel content creators want things to always be challenging and engaging for viewer retention. If everyone has a fair chance to do something, then they don't look as skilled. I do think that it's like content creators are out for builds only and not actual player experiences.
10% chance to drop. That being said, it does still feel like a much more watered down and simpler system that I think has a hell of a lot of missed potential. They had a cool idea with how it worked in 3, even if in practice it was a bit frustrating, and rather than trying to stick with it and clean up that idea, they went backwards to the simplest solution. But where 3 of course wins out is that mobbing content and the fucking variety of it. Proving Grounds were an entirely new concept for the series, being a repeatable linear mobbing section leading up to a boss with a time trial aspect to it, giving better rewards based on your completion time. Proving Grounds were overhyped pre-launch, and this did lead to some disappointment initially, but for what they were something new and pretty damn fun. Each also
I didn't realize dinosaurs aren't new. I'm gonna be honest, I thought the dinosaurs were new for Borderlands 4. Apparently they weren't.
Unique, while also giving a place for every single type of enemy to shine in the endgame. Worth noting here though, they did not launch with true mode, and that was added later on, but even without raid boss scaling on the bosses, the time trial aspect was more than enough to keep it engaging. Big shout out to the trial speedrunning community. Circles of Slaughter, as mentioned, have been around since BL1, but I believe BL3 is easily where they're at their best. Whoa, hey, look at that, up in the top right corner there. I did a whole video on these too, maybe check that out. There's
okay. Just we're going forward. Let's see, post-launch. Let's see.
updates that only contain updates to fix bugs or enhance performance. These sorts of things are also included in some of the updates listed under actual updates alongside other changes, but listed here are the patches that only contain stability and bug fixes. And finally, BS updates, being those that only happen to change the weekly rotation of Wildcard, Maurice, and Big Encores. With a grand total of 7 actual updates, 5 BS updates, and 5 stability and bug fix updates, BL4 has a 41% ratio of actual gameplay altering patches. BL3 has a slightly lesser total at 15 total updates, given that it released a week later into September than 4 and had one less patch in December. But holy shit, now that's what I call a ratio. A whopping 10 actual updates, 4 stability and bug fix updates, and a single BS patch, which is technically a bug fix patch, but it was like literally a single fix, so into BS it goes. This gives BO3 a 67% ratio on gameplay updates, but it really doesn't stop.
This is also a problem. It started with Borderlands 3. It carried over to 4. And this is why this community is so used to it, but it's not a good thing. Stop treating single-player co-op games as a live service, please. It's obvious that it's not working because people like me will play the content and never come back.
There. I don't want to go through every single update here as that feels incredibly.
I should play a single player game and then come back and for an expansion and still be able to use my shit and my builds and it still be the exact same fucking way. But I guarantee I load into Borderlands, none of my shit will probably be effective or the same level, and I will probably be pissed off, which is why I haven't come back and I haven't updated my game at all.
Overkill and would kill my retention, but I will leave links to the official pages where you can read every single one of these update notes from both BL3 and 4. But I am not bullshitting when I say a majority of the BL3 updates completely humiliate even the largest BL4 patch. Like, this was actually eye-opening to sort through, even going into this video already knowing how much better of.
Based on what this guy has said about 3 and also just the experience of 4, it is very obvious, especially with some of the performance issues, this game needed more time to cook. Gearbox needed to continue cooking on Borderlands 4. It was not ready, but they had to ship it out. And because it didn't have in-game, like it didn't have some of the things that this guy's talking about. And a lot of people have complained about it being underwhelming and not a finished product like it should have been. So, man, it makes me hesitant to pre-order in the future myself.
A patch cycle BL3 had. It is insane. I'll give my favorite example. October 9th, 2025, Borderlands 4 got a patch that, really went down in the history books. That's a bit facetious, as this patch was decently well received, but it mostly just buffed a bunch of legendary pistols. Borderlands 3.
The pistols!
2019. Sniper rifle overhaul, pistol damage overhaul, Mollywan buffs, Atlas buffs, various.
This is what I'm talking about when I talk about treating a single player game as a live service. Dude, I remember playing Halo and everything was preset. And you played it and you had a good time. Damn.
Outlier weapon buffs, Zane skill buffs, Amara buffs, incredibly well-needed flak nerfs that people still bitch about today, and fucking more. Comedically depressing comparison aside, there's another patch that's a bit more fair to compare to, being the one that gave a lot of legendary AR buffs on October.
Okay, so I think we can just say that they haven't been doing anything actually good. Got you. Legendaries. Let's talk about legendaries. Pre-order. Yeah, I understand. Let's see. Whoa, my biggest recommendation for Warframe. I'll get to that in a minute because it's a personal one. Yeah, I understand now. I just finished the campaign myself and just didn't want to play the online stuff. Yeah, pre-order anything these past few years is always a mistake because games will have shit optimization launch, at least for AAA games. Glad I didn't buy Borderlands 4 now. Gaming nowadays is just a giant circle jerk for meaningless titles and competitions. No wonder it's not fun anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's just a content creator hell. Everything is about, views and clicks versus actual fun.
Weapon systems present in BL4. I've done more than enough of that on this channel. This is specifically about legendaries, the lack of them, and particularly how lacking they are when it comes to actually being interesting. BL4 obviously has way less legendaries than 3 did. This is likely intentional given how they've talked a lot about wanting purples to still be viable and sought after even in the endgame. Despite the common belief shared by a lot of BL3 players and even Gearbox themselves apparently, given how they talked about it at the events leading up to 4, purples in 3 are actually pretty damn good for the most part. Don't believe me? Check out my awesome and epic multi-part series, The Purple Box, which I will complete one day. The issue comes in that
when I played, I thought a lot of the purple weapons were good. There was a couple legendary guns that I wanted to continue playing with, but most of the time the purple weapons were really good.
For any purple weapon you would want to use, there's usually a legendary counterpart. A great example of this is the Q system, being a purple Atlas AR that was legitimately meta and competitive with many legendaries up until the release of the OPQ, being a legendary Q system variant. The Q system itself is still incredible to this day and still competes, but it's hard to justify it over the OPQ that does everything the Q system does and more. In the current state, after years of updates and content drops, I think the only really good purples without a legendary counterpart that directly competes is the COV pistol, particularly the Preacher and the Splainer, for just being very simple COV pistols, the Carbuncle, and the Protuberance. Bit of a ramble.
I have no idea what these guns are.
Legendaries isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's a great way to still keep value in purples, and that's exactly how purples still held value back in BL.
Bro sounds like Timu Robin from Teen Titans. I can't unhear it now. You are right, he does.
2. The problem comes in how fucking boring a huge majority of the legendaries in BL4.
Oh my god, he's Robin.
Are stat sticks. I feel like this is definitely some of that Destiny influence coming in. Not
oh shit.
All of them. There's certainly a good chunk with unique firing patterns or other fun effects, but a huge amount of unique effects equate to a gun doing more damage in some way or another, or just straight up having buffed raw stats. Many guns, even the more unique ones, don't carve out niches for themselves. There's not many guns that demand you build around them or reward you for investing heavily into their playstyles in the same way that the multi-tap heavily rewarded bonus projectiles, mag size, and fire rate in Borderlands 3, or how the Bearcat rewarded brain damage in Borderlands 2. This leads to many guns being incredibly plug and play on pretty much any build without having much in the way of any sort of unique identity, meaning that the smaller pool of legendaries that we have ends up blending together, and the only ones that actually stand out are those that are insanely busted with very little effort required. This is the exact inverse of the problem that Wonderlands had, where every gun was so gimmicky that they were just unfun to use. I don't think too many or too little legendaries is the right or wrong way to go about things, but I do believe 4 suffers in how bland a lot of the legendary roster is. 3 understood how to have a lot of legendaries, 2 understood how to do more with less, 4 shit its pants and cried.
Damn. My biggest lesson, do not buy Borderlands if you're not interested in the campaign, because that's my biggest mistake. I like the campaign. I thought 4's campaign was fine. I thought it was fine. Let's see. The bits and the why. I think at some point we will skip ahead because, like I said, I don't want this to be overly long video, and then you should yourself actually watch it and give the attention to the video itself. Let's hear a little bit about diversity.
Borderlands 4 currently lacks heavily in build diversity, and as of currently, this problem is only getting worse. We have bigger skill trees than ever, yet more limitations in how we can actually spend our points. With the game launching at a level cap of 50, our options have been very limited for these last 4 months. Skill trees
That's fair.
Also tend to be very point hungry, having a single skill tree usually eat up most of your points, and leaving very little opportunity to explore potential synergy.
That's why you use mods to get you more points. This is why I don't want it to be an online only game. Mod the shit out of it and then have fun.
Hell, there's a lot of really cool sounding synergies that are just straight up impossible to experience currently, which can make build crafting incredibly frustrating. Some trees also just tend to feel incredibly messy, with the placement of certain skills being confusing or illogical. There's also massive inconsistency in the power and point value of a tier 6 skill, making them awkward to attempt to slot into builds for the investment required to reach them. I never really felt this problem in 3 until the much later level caps, where it began to feel like I had too many points. But even then, build build crafting felt so much smoother and skills overall felt a lot more engaging. Even though there were bad skills, the trees themselves felt a lot more intentional and laid out much better. And in the cases where they weren't, some skills ended up getting shuffled around. The meta in Borderlands 4 is also incredibly similar across pretty much all the Vault Hunters and a lot of weapons. Certain part combinations are vastly superior to others, and the strongest guns are about the same across all the Vault Hunters. They also all pretty much have the same ability to do anything that the others can, which means none of them particularly have a unique identity, likely feeding into this issue further. I am simplifying and generalizing here a bit because really the build diversity issue in 4 could have an entire video of its own, but the major point is that build diversity, there's not much of that right now, but with the recent introduction of True Mode, that's only getting worse. True Mode is a global toggle to scale enemies to 4-player difficulty. This being a global toggle effectively means that this has become the de facto endgame difficulty of Borderlands 4, and that if a build can't compete on UVH6 True Mode, then it's not as good of a build as it could be. Now this is a toggle, and it is optional, but so is every endgame scaling in Borderlands. That's how our brains work as Borderlands player, is whatever the hardest difficulty is, that's what builds have to compete on. This is
I mean, that's any game, even like Destiny, that's the same way, right? Because you want to be able to do the hardest difficulty thing to challenge yourself, right? You think it's a weaker engine to hack into? This is a single player co-op campaign game. You can do there's no hacking involved. You just download files into the game and you can play it. Like, you could always mod Borderlands games. It's always been a thing.
Straight up just fast tracking endgame build compression before we're even getting more skill points.
Yeah, so I would agree. The biggest thing, it sounds like none of the big things that he talked about is going to change because it's pretty much preset. Like how they have the perks themselves designed. I don't see them substantially changing that. But I do, you can definitely change how, like, adding more levels to get more points, right? They can definitely do that.
Borderlands 4, like Wonderlands 3 and 2 before it, has an endgame scaling system to create a tougher experience for better loot. In 4, this is the ultimate Vault Hunter levels, going up to UVH 6 as of recently. UVH 1 is unlocked through completing the campaign, 2 to 5 is unlocked from completion of specific wildcard missions given by Lilith, along with a list of bosses required to be killed on that UVH level before the next unlocks, and UVH 6 is unlocked through defeating the new raid boss, Bloom Reaper. Each UVH level increases enemy health and damage for the reward of increased cash, iridium, XP, and loot quality, with UVH 6 also adding an exclusive firmware to the loot pool. Comparing this to BL3's launch mayhem mode, it's actually similar in how the levels themselves function, simply buffing enemies alongside your loot gain. Mayhem unlocked after completion of the story and had 3 levels which could be jumped between at any time. It also had a modifier system that was straight up a mess. Mayhem would randomly roll a set of modifiers that equated to a number adjustment, like pistols do X amount less damage each time you loaded into a new map. This made for a wildly inconsistent experience and would completely screw over certain builds. It was very quickly announced that Mayhem mode would be getting a full rework, and even quicker, Mayhem 4 came out, being a Mayhem level that had no modifiers at all, though toughened up enemies significantly. It also came with new Mayhem 4 exclusive legendary class mods and weapons. Mayhem 2.0 launched, and while the launch was also a bit messy, it came through in the end. At its core, it was an incredibly solid scaling system that to this day I still think it's the best that Borderlands has ever had. If you want to hear all the details on why I think that, check out the top right corner.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think the level, when it comes to different levels, I think it's fine. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have a problem, but I'm also not trying to play this game as like a live service game. I'm playing this for just, can I farm and enjoy? Like, I think the biggest problem is that there wasn't like content, like big bosses to fight right off the rip. I think that's a fair complaint, but the progression, I didn't think it was that bad. The bits. Let's get to the bits.
Now you're over leveled. After beating the game once, you do unlock the ability to create a new character at level 30 with UVH active.
Which is
but
cool.
When you do this, the map is completely unexplored, you have no fast travel stations
Which
available,
sucks.
and no SDUs unlocked, including bank SDUs. This means a new level 30 character has access to like a fifth of your total banked items. Level 30 stip has you engaging with the wonderful gameplay of driving around to collect SDU points, complete UVH requirements, and farming vile bounties to get up to level 50. It's miserable. Driving in
Yes,
Borderlands
it is.
just miserable in general with how quiet.
Which is why you should just mod your other profiles and have it unlocked automatically for you.
This game is. And you want to know why? This is an open world game with 4 distinct zones, a million collectibles, and long roads between all of it, with a grand total of 1 hour and 20 minutes of music. Borderlands 3 at launch had 5 hours and 40 minutes of bangers. And speaking of the game being open world, whether or not that direction is good or bad is definitely up for debate, but Borderlands 4...
I think the open world was a mistake. I think smaller open slots and more mission-based locations, like Borderlands 3 felt really good. Like, it had its open slots, but the individualized mission areas, I thought there was better. Like, I do. The open world only works with live service games or a game like Skyrim, where there's so much to do. There's a lot of dead space in Borderlands to me. I felt the same way about Halo Infinite, that it was open world, but it didn't feel like it made sense.
Definitely still suffers from what I think a majority of open world games do suffer from, being incredibly lacking and often barren environments.
Yes.
And that aspect, compared to the previous games, is definitely another big downgrade in moving to open world. Because having those instant zones, Gearbox put a hell of a lot more detail and love into crafting each and every little bit of the map.
Absolutely.
Some of the more detailed sections of BO4's map don't even compare to just a random section of clutter from a map in one of the previous games. Similar to enemy levels being hidden if they're too high above you, there's actually a weird amount of information that's needlessly obfuscated from the player. Quests don't tell you the actual amount of XP they reward, instead giving you colors from white to...
Yeah, that is also really fucking weird. Like, you don't know how much cash you get, you don't know how much experience you get. You're like, bro, what?
Orange to mimic the gear rarity system. Item cards are complete shit, hiding important stats like crit damage within the inspect menu, and then the inspect menu itself has done away with the part breakdown from 3 where you could see every part of your gun and exactly what effect it had on your weapon stats. Just gone. 4 months later, and we still don't have photo mode, something BL3 launched with and was a godsend for creating thumbnails. There's no mail system anymore. This was removed with Wonderlands.
Okay, that last part, the whole thumbnail thing, that's just content creators only. Let's be honest. No normal fucking player gives a shit about that.
Whatever reason, and just seems to be gone forever despite being incredibly convenient over having to join someone else's game to give them something. The UI is a mess. BL3 didn't have the best UI ever, and there was a lot of valid complaints about it, but at least navigating it felt intuitive, and looking at it didn't over...
All right, let's go to the why.
It went backwards in many ways.
Before we go, DLC will probably add more levels. The meta couldn't have any fun in Destiny because of it. Thankfully, meta is optional Warframe. Yeah. Open world only works when it's designed to be open world. Half of these games, I feel, don't start open world. Just a checklist for the suits. They are also empty. Feeling absolutely.
I'd like to first reiterate that this section is entirely my own opinion based on the way that I've seen Gearbox talk about 3 publicly this last year and how they've interacted with the community and feedback. I'm also going to be referring to Gearbox as a whole, but please keep in mind that a company isn't a hive mind. I'm not here to bash any specific individuals, and I'm not going to claim anyone in particular is responsible. But as well as that, this likely isn't a company-wide issue. There's absolutely people that pour their heart and soul into these games, and I'm sure there's many that would love to be doing more for BL4. All that is to say, I love Gearbox in these games, and I don't want this section to be taken as bashing. I think Gearbox has a problem with how they take in and interact with negative versus positive feedback. Rather, I think it could be more accurate to say the problem is interacting with loud feedback. Negative feedback is important when it comes to anything, just as positive feedback is. Being able to take in and understand the things you did great and the things you did poorly is invaluable, and under no circumstances...
Man, it's almost like they're making the same mistakes as Bungie, huh?
Should any feedback be ignored. But an important concept to understand is that very often negative feedback will be louder when it comes to the public. If feedback isn't being required from someone, then a lot of people are just going to silently enjoy the things that they enjoy. At the very least, significantly more people are often going to silently enjoy something rather than they would silently hate something. If someone is unhappy with something or extremely disappointed in something, they're much more likely to go out of their way to say that. Especially so on the internet, where often drama and blood sports are amplified. Feedback and context go hand in hand. You need to be looking at the surrounding factors as well as the actual direct feedback that that you're getting. Borderlands 3 did get a lot of hate, some of it valid and fair, some not so much. But through that hate, BL3 had numbers and a thriving community backing it. As many people were spending their time making posts and the millionth Borderlands is dead video, there were just...
I still think it's funny that we're treating a single player game with co-op as a live service game. And to even say that a game is dead, that is a campaign experience first, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, man.
As many, if not more, actively playing and enjoying the game. We don't have numbers from the very early days as it launched as an Epic exclusive, but 6 months later when it launched on Steam, BL3 peaked at 93,000 players. That's incredibly impressive for a game that far post-launch, and I can only imagine what the entire Epic, Steam, and console numbers looked like. What I don't have to imagine is how active the community was. How every week the community was hyped over every new update, how content was constantly being made and viewed, and how active the entire scene was. And clearly, given how BL3 was supported for 2 years post-launch and got a second season pass that was initially unplanned, at the time,
Season pass. Now, I'm wondering if season pass is like DLC pass, because if it's a season pass, like a battle pass, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
Gearbox knew BL3 was enough of a success to be worth investing all that time into. And somehow, come the development and release cycle of BL4, that was either forgotten or ignored. There were multiple times while on stage advertising for BL4, they repeated talking points directly from a lot of the hate that 3 got. They advertised 4 on being a more serious of a tone, having loot drops feel rare again, hyped up the game on the back of
DLC
so much
pass,
of the shit
okay.
that 3 got, and it wasn't just for marketing, because with what we got and what I've laid out throughout this video, it feels like a lot of the decisions made in 4 were either in spite of 3 or playing it safe in fear of upsetting that same loud group. Like BL2, 3 was willing to try new things, to experiment with the series and the various systems to find something that worked. And if it didn't work, they were willing to work on it until it did. Mayhem 2.0 was a huge change and something they didn't have to do, especially considering it came as a free update to the game. Mayhem 4 being given as a band-aid fix in the meantime while they worked on it was also something that was not necessary, but it was amazing, especially considering both of these updates came with a bunch of new gear as well. It felt like BL3 was supported out of an excitement for these new systems and a will to see them through. And that's maybe what fed into the patch cycle feeling so much better and having so many...
Well, normally Borderlands should have done more stuff directly to the players to make quests feel more satisfying. I'm saying at the base, right? I think we can all agree, and I just realized my background is all off-centered, and that kind of makes me sad. We can all agree that Borderlands 4 should have been more complete. Like, I think buying a Borderlands fully completed with things to do after you beat, like post-campaign activities, that should be a thing. Like, for real, for real. But I don't agree on this weird life service model. Like, we call those DLC packs that add to the game, and that was it. Not the, we're going to continue string along content, string along updates constantly, even though it's a single player game. Like, none of that. It was, here's your DLC. A couple months later, here's your DLC. Here's a DLC pack. Boom. That's how games used to be, and that's how it should be.
More changes all the time.
Unless you're a full-blown live service game.
Pulled the safest versions of these systems from BL2 and BL3, with all the newer systems being altered versions of the older ones. And often not even necessarily better versions. Just safer. There's very little that's truly new about BL4, with really the only new thing being the fact that it's open world. You know, one of the tags you can slap on your game to immediately get people pogging over it for free. Borderlands 4 was made to satiate rather than titillate. To finally wrap things up on this far too long video, BL1 to BL2 was a proper sequel. It's truly insane just how different those two games are, and it was clear that they weren't afraid to draw in different crowds. The jump from BL2 to BL3 was the exact same as 1 to 2. These were wildly different experiences that still...
Yeah, I feel like 2 to 3, though, for most people wasn't good enough. Maybe they fixed things with DLC, but people like me just never came back.
At at their core were Borderlands. BL4 tried to draw in the BL2 crowd to recapture an audience that is already captured by a game. BL2's player base really hasn't gone down very much since BL4 released, because even when a game is made to their taste, that game isn't BL2. That game isn't the game they've been playing for 14 years. And I don't blame them. That's how BL3 is to me. 3 is my game.
That's fair.
A game I've spent 6 years playing and invested thousands of hours into. There likely will never be a Borderlands game that grips me as hard as 3 did. Thing is, I don't expect every Borderlands game post 3 to just be a better version of 3. I expect an improved game with the same, if not more, quality of life, but new and expanded and interesting systems that I haven't seen or experienced before in.
Just to kind of cut the video because we are getting long. Again, link will be down below. It's a 38-minute video and my video is 43 minutes. So, hey, I did a good job not making this a 2-hour-long video, right? I agree with most of everything he says. A lot of my stuff is my general opinions about Borderlands, which I'm not a Borderlands creator. So my opinion is going to completely counteract this individual. But everything he says, most of it's pretty much on par. Like a lot of the issues, it's very noticeable. And just the substance compared to previous games is noticeable. Especially when I come from like Borderlands 2. I just played it recently before jumping into 4 when it came out. And so it was reminding me of there was a lot you could do in Borderlands 2 that Borderlands 4 kind of doesn't have. And the for me, the biggest sin was the open world. I felt like the open world change just wasn't good. It just wasn't. Like people want to make their own builds out of, different weapons. I like to use all sorts. Loot shouldn't be locked away in a season pass. It's wrong. Well, I don't know. Like, I think it's just generic at DLCs, what it is, right? But in general, like, I agree with what he's saying. A lot of it is subjective, but overall, the vibe itself is very noticeable. Even I have stopped playing it. I've kept tabs on the community. How Gearbox is kind of treating versus how they've treated previously it seems like they're trying to roll back the live service stuff while also trying to like drip feed it. It's weird. To my opinion, is either you full send live service or you don't. Because this is what happens when you try to roll back on that stuff. You piss off the community that you have. That's the reality. You piss off the community you have. Anyways, the link to the video will be down below. Give the video a like and subscribe if you like this content. They're very knowledgeable. Give them this is their expertise. Give them a like. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you in another video. Yeah, I probably won't come back to 4 until after all the DLC is out, like in a year, and I'll probably revisit it like it did Borderlands 2. And we'll see how it goes. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Huzzah! All right, chat. I am tired. It's time for me to go to bed. What's the point of all this loot? Only a few being pushed by content creators. The fact that they don't experiment makes things work is just lazy. Low effort meta content is stagnation. Yeah, I get you. Let me see. I'm trying to go back to see if I missed any comments. Oh, that's me, not you. That's me, not you. Ba da ba da ba. Yeah, all right. So I think we're pretty much good. I do appreciate you guys chilling with me. We had about what? It was a 3-hour stream. Short, chill. and it's time for me to go to bed. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll let you know if I do. I'll let you know. When I say I'll let you know, I'll just pop on. I'll be what I do. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you guys. Good luck tomorrow until the next one. If you need help with Warframe, I can help a bit. So far, we're good. We're just kind of chilling. I do need to log it. Oh man, I didn't log in today. I probably need to log in and do my my flirting before I go to bed, but I'll do that later. Good luck. I'm off. See you guys. Have a good one. See ya. Good night. Farewell.